And there we go. Hello, welcome to the Root Winter Tournament, Round 2, Game 22, in the month of 2, in the year 2022. My name is Guerric. Commentating with me today, you should be able to hear him. It's Fugless.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And our players today are none other than JuisinTime.
Hello.
Opie'sFuneral.
I'm here on time.
Esoteric.
Hey there.
And Sanchez.
Oh.
Thank you, everyone. Your draft has been dealt. Y'all know where to find me if you need me. So everyone, good luck. Have fun. I'm going to go on mute and let y'all get started. I'm going to remember to unmute in my chat with Fugless. Here we go.
Okay,
now you should hear me.
Good luck, everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, have fun.
Let me
fun.
lower their voices a little bit, though. Yeah, I like this draft. It's actually pretty interesting.
So,
because
yeah,
Warlord has obviously been very strong lately, but this is not a.
I think Opie'sFuneral picks first for map.
This
right?
is not a Warlord-friendly draft.
Okay, good call. First player picks map. Is that correct?
It's
Okay. Well, I have heard lots of fun things on the mountain map, but haven't actually played it with Velocity, so I'm going to go ahead and click that.
Oh, we're just having all the mountain maps lately. Yeah, this is kind of an interesting mix.
Alright, so I have first pick of faction. Right, I'll take Woodland.
Yep. Woodland has also been on a hot streak, so not surprising.
A hot streak. They either have the highest win rate or the second highest at the moment. I think they're back to being highest.
I mean, as the insurgent factions, which of all the other ones have pretty much struggled, I think. It's definitely, it's just hardest to counter, because if you defend your bases well, there's not much busting through, and there's no like lizards for instant removal. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're just a game clock. They're not one of those factions where you can meaningfully set them back. At most, you can just pause them.
Yep.
You could click.
Oh, okay.
And they're kind of one where their points are very deceiving. So, like, you know, they're hanging way back, and you're like, oh, they're not a threat. And then they are actually, and no one, you know, picks up on the fact that they are a significant threat.
Yep. Yeah, point shading can be huge.
Alliance is broke. Alliance was very broke on the Qatar on the initial release of the game.
It was.
They were like ultra
Very
broke.
Very good.
But I mean, I still think they're balanced. It's just, you know, the meta right now is.
I believe I'm
getting them
use a specific
lot of wins.
Color marker, but Guerric will fix that.
So Vagrant for the second pit. There are some players. Some of my favorite players in the game are extremely fond of the Vagrant. They love the Vagrant. Favorite vagabond of theirs. He is super fun. Most people like to do a aid strategy with him.
Particularly because he starts with the coin.
Yep, exactly. And of course, the instigate is super hilarious if used correctly.
Yep.
So hopefully we'll get to see some of that action.
Yeah, Vagrant isn't necessarily the most consistent vagabond, but it's certainly one of the most entertaining, and it can do well.
Oh yeah, for sure. Erie next, so another super strong tournament faction. It's my opinion that no Turmoil charismatic is probably the strongest faction in the game. Just because it's, unless you make, you know, obviously you're not putting you know, rabbit cards and recruit. You know, if you, as long as you play it not correctly, but as long as you play it strategically, it's very hard to counter. So first player will be Cats, or I mean, without Cats in the game. So this is actually not a bad spot for Warlord, because without Cats in the game, Warlord has a lot more board space now. So this would not be a bad. So while I thought that this was a bad mix for Warlord, it's not awful.
It's turning out about as good as you could hope for Warlord.
Yeah, right. I mean, he's not going to get any ruin items, probably.
Okay.
But he might be able to sneak one in.
Southwest corner, you should see a hand that's face up.
But yeah, with Cats in the game, this would have been rough. Warlord potentially. But I always think that, and he's just resilient sometimes and can just fight through all the adversity.
Yeah.
There is 4 clearings and there are 2 packs of.
And as we all know, cats used to be mountain dominant. Like
When I picked.
they wouldn't win any games basically unless it was mountain
Very
almost.
strange map.
But I think and even with the buff and ad set, I still think like mountains for some reason is not. I think everyone's starting wherever they want, kind of like hurts cats on mountain a little bit. I
mean,
know.
also we're playing with Lost City instead of Tower, and
Well,
Tower was a
true.
huge aspect.
Tower was free points for cats, basically.
Right. That's an interesting setup location for the Eerie.
Yeah.
And the leader
Crazy to see the third player setting up and nothing's on the board.
I know. They had free range of setup wherever they wanted. And they picked something kind of central, but near some bunny clearings, sort of staking out that suit.
Yeah,
which is... Yeah, all 4 of the bunnies are right there. That's really interesting.
It would have been very interesting if he had started somewhere else and cats would have been able to pick that corner.
Yeah.
That would have been dominant city, potentially. But
and
as we've seen, though, dominance is extremely hard to win with.
It is. But with Lost
it would
City
at
adding
least been
additional...
a shot. I mean, unless you get those kind of clearings, I don't think it's unless they're really close, it's even more difficult.
Let's go.
Yeah, the Eerie bunny domination, I don't see that happening, but hey,
Ooh.
I've seen weird stuff.
1 build.
It looks like we're about to go Despot.
And build, yeah.
Oh, interesting. I mean, I don't blame it with potentially mob tokens and the Woodland Alliance. I mean, Despot used to be, a couple of years ago, Despot was the play until people started perfecting Charismatic.
People got better at Eerie and learned how to do no turmoil as Charismatic.
Yep. I mean, because everyone likes to start, Despot, it already starts in build. You don't really need to have a bird card in your hand necessarily.
You're not forced into battling as much and balancing the battles and recruits.
Yep. Yeah. Charismatic would have been extremely difficult because there's no one to fight. So yeah, I think he was actually stuck into picking. Oh, he picked cats.
Well, yeah, you could have gambled on the cats pick, and you could have.
True.
Just to clarify.
And in worst case scenario, who could have done the old, which
Exploding Birds opening
ended up being it was a cool strategy because it kind of goes against the norm. And what he's talking about is where you play Charismatic, you throw all your cards, you throw 2 cards into recruit that match your home suit. You recruit like 6 guys, 6 birds, and then just Turmoil instantly.
Yep.
So by turn 2, you have 12 units on the board. I mean, it's kind of cool, but I've never seen it really work.
It's just slow is the issue.
But I think that.
But half your troops on the board on turn 2 is pretty sweet.
I can't be
Yeah, no Lord of the Hundreds perma-stuck.
Yeah,
we're going with the base 4.
Oh yeah, we are. You're right. Base 4 game.
Building.
I mean, cats. If you're gonna play cats, it should be mountain and it should be first turn order. So I don't blame them.
As well as possibly.
It's a very interesting game because we have.
Cats are such a strange faction because
classic 4.
They seem.
This is a classic game. I love it.
They seem just like they should. I mean, there's definitely some great cat players.
Let's just try to be
but
everywhere once. See what I can do.
I don't know. It's just it seems like everything's going right for them and then just falls apart somehow.
I'm increasingly thinking they're low-key the hardest faction en route to play well.
Yeah, even though they're like the basic one.
I've been saying for a while that they're like the 2nd or 3rd hardest, but I think they're just the hardest.
Well, I mean, the problem is the action optimization is so critical with them. Like
so critical.
If you waste turns marching, then you're basically not scoring points. So like you have to like balance protecting your stuff with wasting turns protecting your stuff essentially. So it's like, and what do you protect and what do you let be killed?
There's a push-pull dynamic. There's you have to do a lot of soft influence on like where players go on the map, with how you build and both react to them and force them to react to you.
And I think like as more expansions came out, cats got like worse and worse almost because like with
from
more
the budget.
factions in the pool, you have no vagabond now.
No,
Well, now
the
you've
Lost
just
City.
removed 4 build spots for the cats,
Yep.
And I think
which
that's
is
looking
devastating potentially.
Good. Any other
And you
setup,
have
I
new
got
factions that
down to
could potentially
3,
take up
put our
tons
hands
more
on the
build
table, and then
spots.
leave
Like
and come back.
moles could potentially take up build spots,
After we get
and
done, but
so yeah, it's just they got to have those spots. And I think it was my last tournament game where the cat player just kind of ran out of build spots, like, and didn't have anything to do. And then now all of a sudden, if you don't have build spots, you're just soaking wood into the forest, you know, and having like
I stroke
5
today.
wood in a
Get myself
clearing, which is
Mhm.
essentially just free points for people. So yeah, I agree with you that despite being like the easiest to learn faction, I don't know if that's the case necessarily, but you know, the
All
They have a very
I'm ready to
low
leave and come back.
like barrier to
right.
entry.
I mean, they're considered
Go
like
ahead and do that.
the most
I'm
straightforward.
ready as
Like,
well, but
hey,
we
build
have to hit done
and
before
score
we
points.
actually
That's
do
all
that,
you really
once
need to
everybody's
do.
ready.
But to like play
So
them
checkmate it done now?
optimally is way harder
Yep.
than people think.
Mm-hmm. Purple
And
Potato,
ready
I'm
to
not seeing a
jump for
keep.
drafting hands?
If I'm
The keep is still by his board.
no keep.
So we're just gonna go. We're gonna do the no
Sorry,
keep meta.
Vagabond has it through there, yeah.
Opie's Funeral playing with a handicap.
And now I will.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, we can't tell him, so he'll figure it out
Make the
eventually,
big tree and
probably.
leave.
I hope so. All right, now I do my magic. I kill some dice.
While they're secretly gone, like the magic happens. So he put the recruiter in the Lost City, which is an interesting choice. I don't know if he's putting the keep there or not. We'll find out. He put the workshop in Mouse, which, if there wasn't a Vagabond in the game, it would lead me to be he might have T in his hand, but with Vagabond in the game,
And
it'd be a
failure
little
to
dangerous to
connect, so I'll
cast
try one more
to
time. I'll say
Yeah,
reset live.
do T immediately,
connected
but it's
correctly.
possible.
Or type it correctly.
There's not really any single mouse improvements that I can remember offhand, except mouse partisans, which is probably not going to be crafted.
Well, there's
Yep.
League of Adventurous Mice.
That is true.
If you pair
but
that
that's
with
hard,
some
that's
items,
that's hard to utilize with a Vagabond in the game.
It is. It is.
But he does craft
I did fail to set
early,
my quest
so
deck
it
beforehand.
yeah,
I
it could happen.
apologize,
You're right.
everyone. I hope that did not influence.
And extra actions, League of Adventurous Mice. League of
I
Adventurous
was
Mice
looking
is
too
definitely
closely
one of the
there, I
best
don't know.
craftables for almost anyone,
Mhm.
except maybe like lizards. But they're okay for lizards too, because it still gives them free moves. But any action starved faction like the cats or the crows, like League is super good. Is this a Badger level setup mistake?
It is not.
I've
That's a
never
reference
seen-
to that one game where I did actually step in and be like, "Hey, no, you're doing setup wrong," because a Badger player was
I am
doing
loaded.
everything
Other
like
people loaded
super
in?
wrong.
Yep,
Yeah,
I'm gonna hit start
Yeah,
recording.
yeah,
I
that's
think,
bad then.
Unless
Yeah, I'm trying to pay attention to Twitch chat this time so I can like
Sure.
interact with the
There we go.
fans, kind of thing.
Still
Still no keep.
Start the game.
We are missing a cat score marker, I believe.
Oh, good call.
Okay, well they got the VP
Just
marker.
want to make sure everyone is loaded
So
in.
that's
before I
half the
start
battle. The keep just sitting there.
I believe the cats should
Oh.
have a keep set up somewhere.
There we go.
Yes.
Yes, big
and
nerf
that's
for
correct.
2022.
Yeah, thank you.
If the cats needed any more
mind
issues,
if we make
so he
that
did
big so
keep
it's
the
easy to
keep
see
in the
too?
middle, which is smart because
Yes.
now you can field hospital. Oh no, you can't. Never mind.
Thank you.
Well, you can
You can
field
see-
hospital with any card
Inside
in
the
that
keep.
clearing.
Oh,
Right.
well,
So
nice,
the
'cause
keep
no one's
is
ever gonna
practically
destroy it, right?
invulnerable when it's in the
Never.
Lost City. I would still prefer the workshop there. The recruiter, I mean, if you're gonna have the keep there, do you need to recruit more
I'm gonna go
there?
ahead
I
and
don't know.
Right.
That's
I
just
think
my
people
opinion.
like to put
Second,
recruiters on the
first
keep,
thing
and I
we'll
think it's a mistake
do
for that
is
exact
we'll get a
reason. The
wood
keep is sort
Right.
of a recruiter on its
clearing thing,
own.
Right
Exactly.
here.
Because the cats, I mean, other than bird cards, they're not going to churn through a ton of cards. Once they get up to like 5 cards, they're not going to use all their cards. They're going to overwork some.
Purple Potato
Um,
also makes the point that that's actually an illegal
Well,
placement for the keep
very
because 2 of the
interesting.
homelands
Oh,
are not
Lord.
next to a
Oh,
homeland,
yeah.
and the keep has to
Oh.
not be adjacent if possible.
Oh well.
Let's build a
R.I.P.
recruiter in the far corner.
Scuffed game. See y'all tomorrow.
It's okay.
It happens.
Oh, sorry.
Yep. So this is an
I'm gonna
interesting
look at my
strategy. He's
crafting.
building very wide cats.
It's tough.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's an interesting place to throw that recruiter.
He's kind of safe though because Erie is despot. So unless he decides to already dedicate himself to battling, it's probably safe for a while.
I really want to.
I doubt Vagabond's going to get hyper aggressive early on. But yes, I don't think you normally see that spread of cat buildings early in the game.
So in a battle and mouse clearing, I might deal 1 extra hit, but discard.
So he did do mouse partisans, and I can't see his
So now
card. So
That's because you didn't even rejoin, Douglas.
I know. I didn't. I forget I need to. All right, I'll be right back.
I am going to overwork.
Overwork. So I think we've talked about this before, but
And
overwork is definitely one of the strongest cat's abilities.
I think I'm going to overwork a blue card.
It's
I just really needed that mouse.
like you can't overuse it, but
Right.
smart usage of it is so important to your long-term game plan.
Yep. Because you need to be able to score points with not just the wood from your sawmills. I mean, it's very important to like stick another one out there to either use on your turn, or a lot of good cat players I play with, put the sawmill in the keep and then overwork that sawmill a lot because it's pretty safe there because it's the keep, so probably won't get attacked.
Let's say
But yeah, it's dangerous to kind of put it out there sometimes, but just having another wood for your next turn, because you don't need that much wood to really start scoring points. Because I think the most sawmill is only 4 wood, so
draw a single card.
Once you start getting those wood tokens out, you're flying. The hard part is figuring out how to burst for a big amount of points, which the cats don't really do that well.
Yeah, they're a very consistent score,
Yes. Yeah, they get out to a kind of a big lead. Not a big lead, but they definitely are in the lead for the first part of the game, especially if people are overworking a lot. But then that mid-game, they just, because they just basically get focused because they're winning. Ooh, double build Despot, so I guess we could probably see an early Turmoil.
And
I think double build Despot into Charismatic is a really strong Eerie strat. And I think this is low-key a very smart denial for cats. Like, the more aggressively you can push those buildings out, the more it's going to hurt cats going into the mid and late game when building slots become a finite resource.
Yeah, this could be a very quick game because Eerie's going to become a problem very soon,
Not a big
and
fan of seeing the T.
obviously Woodland's not going to deal with them, and cats don't want to deal with them.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how this progresses.
Speaking of Woodland, we don't have martial law in a single clearing on this map.
Yep, you're right. That's another problem for everybody. Yeah, that's the downside with not wasting actions, and I don't mean wasting, but not using actions to march your cats around is this issue right here.
And the issue with going like double build Despot, because it's a very thin strategy.
Yeah. You're gonna have like one bird protecting everything basically. Yeah, you're not expecting your roost to necessarily stay. You just want to get them out there as fast as possible, and then you can go into charismatic, and then that's when you just go crazy and hopefully you're scoring points from your roost.
Yep. You set up your scoring engine, then you set up your policing engine.
Exactly. Yep. So let's see what he gets first. Ideally, that'll work.
A hammer.
Yep, that's a good start. You definitely don't want to bag first because
1 point per
you
scoring.
have plenty of satchel space. If he's lucky, he has a craftable in his hand already.
We'll then move
Maybe some tea.
to the Lost City.
Well, he probably has a craftable. He may have a hammer or a tea.
That hammer to craft a tea.
There it is.
So he started with a tea. Pretty much with Despot Infamy, you really need to have a tea or the other hammer in your hand.
This might be my last lead of the game.
Get off to a good start with Vagabond.
We've seen a couple games where Vagabond has done very well without a T, but it is an uphill struggle.
It is an uphill battle, yes.
Draw 2 cards and end my turn.
But that is a great start.
Very good start, yeah.
Vagrant there.
So far, everyone is. I mean, cats have some questionable positioning, but he still built a sawmill, so that's good.
I mean, there is an argument. They did the recruiter off in that corner.
Right.
they don't necessarily need to connect to that recruiter anymore. It could just be.
Right up here.
Yeah.
It could just sit there.
No.
I was gonna say, although now that sympathy means that maybe it won't sit there. It could just sit there and increase like the recruiter track passively. Is what I was trying to
Score a point for that second one.
say.
That's it for my.
Yeah, propaganda beer and
third song.
supporters. Yep.
Uh,
RIP
Tragic.
for the woodland. Yeah, but
I'm gonna
everyone
go
else
ahead
should be
and,
happy.
Spend.
You spent there for
Oh, the old
this,
soup kitchens.
clearing.
It has to be 3 of 1
Ooh.
person's enemy warriors.
Yeah.
Should be-
He can place
Okay.
there.
Slight
Yeah.
confusion over martial law for a second.
Yep.
Right. Was nervous about
The old
that for a
infamous
second.
soup kitchens,
Um,
a card I don't think I've ever seen crafted in
I'm gonna
500
play this
games.
to remove the mountain pass.
Sadly,
Ooh,
Score 1 point for that.
Wooden Alliance opening up a closed path.
And
which is
then
kind of crazy
I'll
because like
mobilize the rest
if
of
you
my
don't
hand.
mobilize your hand, it hurts. I mean,
Yeah.
I've played woodland and I'm like, okay, I have
And then
coins,
anything I'll
so
drop
I'm gonna
and-
try to get 2
Yeah.
bunny sympathies, and it, after about 2 or 3 rounds, you're like,
Okay.
why did I do this? I
Yeah.
just kept this card here.
No,
And
building
it's-
that momentum by mobilizing your hand turn 1 is so
Yeah.
important. So that's really interesting to see that play there.
Yeah, we'll see if it pays off. It
Daylight.
does keep him in the pack, but again,
Top
you don't
right
really need to stay with the pack
corner
as woodland necessarily.
Probably has some sympathy to deal with. Am I gonna craft? I don't think so.
Yeah, he could have.
Did we just
During daylight,
lose somebody?
I
I
did
will.
lose somebody. We lost Opie.
Oh, lost the person
Finish.
taking their turn.
Guard.
He's still talking. Wait, who's talking?
Looks like I've disconnected.
There it is.
Oh,
There we
he
go.
is.
If you guys can give me
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, robot. The Discord robot.
Sir, your audio is breaking up for me.
It is still point denial. I mean, if you're taking those path points away from cats who really should be doing it because
And
they're
Vagabonds.
yeah, true, yes, especially Vagrant because
Yeah.
he gets extra cards.
connected.
Yeah, but the cats also because they're literally can do all of the tunnels because they basically start and they do start in every clearing, so they can literally do 1 a turn for the first 6 turns or however many there are. But yeah, taking it away from someone else, I'm not against it, but it's
It's just interesting.
definitely it's definitely not something you see very often for sure. Oh, he's back.
All right, it should be back in action. So the 2 wood are on
This
the
could be a very racy
I
game.
was trying
But sometimes I
to,
think that, and all of a sudden it just grinds to a halt.
discard a card,
Yeah.
remove covered clearing. It doesn't have to match anything, right? You just as long
Does
as
not
you're
have
in
to
the
match
clearing,
anything.
you
That
can
is
discard any color.
Correct.
something some players think, but
Right,
it
then
could
I'll
be any
discard
card.
It's a
this
common misconception,
as
yes.
the-
Yep.
Score 1 point. Oh, there it is.
Yep. He saw the Woodland Alliance. He's like, I need to join this party. And Tunnels is a nothing
I'm gonna
card for the
proceed
cats.
to spend
I've seen
2
it
wood.
used a couple times in hilarious fashion, but
I have seen it win the game for the Cats once.
oh really?
On
Interesting.
Mountain Map, when they got cut off, it created the
Oh.
connection they needed to build. But it's
It's very situational,
Right.
obviously. So you built another
That would
cruiser
be
in the
2
bottom
points.
corner. This is not typical cat strategy, and I'm very interested to see how this
Well,
plays out.
actually, I think that location makes a lot of sense because it's starting the backfill in a place where the Eerie are threatening to open a path and advance
Yeah.
into.
It's true. True.
Now, whether it should have been a Sawmill or a Recruiter, that's more debatable. I'm I'm obviously a huge Sawmill fan, as I've made
Yeah.
clear throughout the tournament.
But he does get his Duke 2 card draw now.
It's true.
It's
It's true.
And
I
he
hope
might
to
be.
lose
I mean,
that.
I don't think
Yeah.
Erie's going to battle though. So yeah, I
Pretty
think
bad.
his buildings are safe because I don't think Erie's wasting time with those shenanigans. He's just going to build like crazy.
Well, no, I'm not going to battle yet. Let's do recruit. Case an
But I
ambush
like
comes
to
up.
see that he has not marched once,
So
which
I'm going
is.
to do a recruit action.
I mean, I
That's my
think that might
second.
be new cat meta is like march
That's not
as little as
new.
possible.
Three.
It's not new. I haven't seen that. I've seen most players try to
Well,
protect,
I just
try to
do move
consolidate.
action and
And they're wrong.
But I mean, I think you're right because I think marching is like a wasted action. I mean, it really is.
I think that's something that a lot of players
3 here.
naturally gravitate to when they first start playing. but I think
Yeah.
they grow out of it when they get better with cats. I think it's just
Yeah.
the arc of the faction for people.
I mean, he will have problems eventually getting wood through to certain areas.
What do you mean by that?
But with Eerie so spread out and
You
thin
could
that
move those two
he won't have to
warriors.
really
Oh,
consolidate that
okay.
much.
You would have 3 there, so
Yeah.
probably he would just revolt in this clearing, but I think it's not a big issue for you.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is going to be kind of interesting because
doesn't seem that bad.
the cats are debating whether or not to
In
kill
that
that
case,
sympathy.
I would probably
sympathy.
clear this from the sympathy to.
And Eerie is telling
He's like,
cats to just set up martial law nearby.
Yeah, just box him in a corner.
Yeah, that fox base is not the greatest base, for sure. So if
okay.
the Woodland wants to take that base, I mean, it's not the end of the world.
On him not having the right
So he's just going to
cards.
abandon and let him have it.
So I'll do a move action or a march action. So I'll do 1.
The bunny base is much more appetizing.
I mean, at what point does that just open that clearing for Eerie to go Omnom, though? It is Despot. That would be 2 battles.
No, I know. He could just say, you know what? I'm just going for max points. I'm going to build twice, battle twice, and just go for a crazy rush strat and see how long I can last.
That's your word. I march. That's
So now, right. So now he's left Eerie to deal with that sympathy in his area. So, which is kind of like, I don't know. I would have liked to seen the cats take it out just because if Eerie does think, you know what? I'm just going to go for some battles now.
Strong start for the cats.
I would love to see Despot double move, double battle, double build at the end of turn 2. It'd be hilarious.
Double,
He doesn't want to
Too
put,
many twos.
if his intention is to turmoil, he does not want to put any more bird cards into this thing. That's another thing of like intentional turmoiling is you're like, okay, at some point I have enough bird cards in here where we gotta like string this out as long as we can.
Yeah, ideally, if you're going for a turmoil strat, you're putting the fewest number of bird cards possible, but you still need some bird cards to make things consistent enough to.
Right.
So it's that
Yeah,
balance.
because double build. I mean, if you put a fox or a mouse, your options now are super limited.
Right.
Yeah, I think so. But I would.
I mean, I would love to see, because I think he could still do his decree.
Juicy card, but we are just giving.
Yeah, he can still do his decree if he does 2 battles and hits both sympathies. So at the end of this turn, he would score 8 points in this turn. That would be crazy insane.
That would be.
But I have an issue here with new rules.
And he can get his guys to build. He can build up in that fox, and he could build down in that bunny where he just pointed.
Yep.
Now,
you could even try to pitch a card to a closed path, so you don't have to actually pay a card to the Woodland Alliance, depending on what your hand is.
So it's 9. So he could get 9 points in turn 2.
Yeah.
If he did get, it would be if Woodland has an ambush card, that would be bad. But he could go for the cats instead, because he doesn't have to attack the Woodland Alliance and the fox clearing if he doesn't want to. But I assume he would.
I missed that moment, so I would need to either go here or remote. It's not a good idea to. Probably I wouldn't battle here. I just move and.
Okay, so he's not talking about battling in that clearing. Unfortunately, I really want to see the double battle.
You want to see the greed?
I want to, dude. I feel like sometimes you got to be greedy. I think Eerie can actually afford to be greedy sometimes because I think they're pretty resilient, especially with as long as you're not turmoiling charismatic. Because charismatic can get. Oh, he does. So he's got 1 burdened bunny or build, or battle. One of those.
He got there eventually.
I got there eventually. Okay. Now that's interesting. That now throws me off entirely.
In this case, I even.
Now I'm sad.
Go.
Well, I assume he's going to be turmoiled soon because. You can easily turmoil him now at almost any point.
Okay, that's.
Well, I guess the question is who's going to take the effort to go do that. Depends on how vulnerable he leaves his mouse roost or roosts.
So
that is true. He could just super defend it. Yeah. Oh, he did have a fox. He could have done it. He could have done the bird battle, fox battle.
Dream is dead, folks. You gotta move on.
So disappointed. And he did the pass point, so he could have got the 9-point turn. I mean, it would have been sustainable probably, but at that point, you're just turmoiling into charismatic anyway, so who cares how sustainable it is?
You gotta learn, Focus. Players are like your children. They always disappoint you.
So, yeah, he's basically doing everything else we thought he would do, except for the recruits.
3 warriors.
Interesting. I guess that's where he's building his second roost.
Battle here.
I mean, it's still going to be a solid.
Fight.
Oh no, it's still a good turn.
Yeah, it's still a solid 7-point turn. So let's not.
Despite our moaning here, like this is still a good turn.
Yeah, he's going to have 10 points. No, sorry, 9 points at the end of this turn. So I think the table is going to audibly gasp when they see how far he gets ahead.
I mean, this is double bill Despot. It races out fast.
Yep.
Just remove this anyway. Yeah.
He didn't need to roll, but he still.
And do you have it?
Score 1 point if you remove at least one, so plus 2 points.
Mary has 2. No cards.
Oh, no cards. Okay.
No cards.
Yeah, this is definitely the warning lights come on at this point. Because if he's allowed to not, he just left his
mouse undefended.
Oh yeah, he's turmoiling 100% because now I see that his mouse roost is undefended. So the table, I mean, the cats have to kill it. If the cats don't kill this, he cannot be allowed to have another turn because he'll score another 8 points.
Yeah, ideally the double bill Despot would have turmoiled next turn by like putting a 3rd card into build or something.
Yeah, to get another roost out. Yeah, I agree.
First.
No, I have a lot of.
The double bill.
Yeah, if one roost is killed, he'll essentially score some battle points, and then his.
And draw.
Well, no, he'll just turmoil and recruit, so he won't even get a turn. So I would assume the cats would do it. I can't imagine they will allow this to continue.
Does not include.
So this is going to even up the game considerably. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen him not do what he did and potentially get out one more turn of this build.
I would have liked this a lot more if we'd moved into the cat's workshop clearing and built there somehow. To at least have 2 mouse. Yeah.
Yep.
Because I hate turmoiling on recruit. It's so inefficient for your turn.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, you at least want to get to battle and like score a couple points.
Right.
Because I'm sure he would have been able to move somewhere to fight something. There should be sympathy and stuff. So Vagabond got a sword, which is the
and a boot.
The death of the aid strat usually.
This quest and draw 1 card.
Because the aid strat usually. You don't want to go hostile with anyone because you want to be able to score those juicy allied aid points.
This crossbow.
Well, so this could be a little more violent-y.
The crafting machine.
Yeah. But there are ways to ditch your sword, and he's about to come up with one because if he gets another item, he's going to have to lose something. So there is strategies where you
just exhaust the coins.
Right. Just gotta hope.
Yeah, true. You could just
he could aid
with the coins
and immediately discard the sword.
Most players find it extremely annoying when you're allied with them, and a lot of players that I know will, if you aid them more than, if you get them to that second relationship level, and you have a sword, they're just going to attack you because they do not want you to get to that level. 1, they score an absurd amount of points for every aid, and 2, they can move you around, which is super irritating. But it's super fun. I have enjoyed many a times when I am allied as the Vagabond and I'm just moving people around the map for fun.
Bogus enjoys being a dick, confirmed.
It is kind of a dick move, I will admit, but it is fun.
Oh.
All right, so an ambush coming out of supporters.
Use this to.
So he's not.
Place 1 here.
He's not revolting, which I don't blame him. That's not a great base.
Left me alone here. Now it's not 3.
But something with Woodland that you have to decide at some point is: do I take a crappy base, or do I just keep going for it?
Right.
Because
you don't want to put it off too long.
Right. You don't because base gets you that extra card draw. It gets you the ability to actually do other actions. But
I mean, you're basically taking half of a turn until you get a base down because you don't have access to your evening actions.
And
yeah,
then
I think this is the last turn
I'll,
without a base. I would think.
mobilize again.
Yeah, because he still has
for
2 more
daylight.
supporters. So he has 3 supporters.
And draw 1 card, and that will be my turn.
All right, so it's up to the cats. And I assume the cats have seen that the Eerie is
in daylight.
easily
I still
Turmoil.
get my 2 wood. I'll put them up here. Then I'm going to look at crafting. I think I'll craft League of Adventurous Mice.
Good craft if you can get some
Oh,
other
I
items
still have a
craft,
workshop.
but it's
Like,
kind
I
of
could
hard
do
sometimes for cats because
Really doubling down
you don't
on
really
mouse-
want to
mouse
build
game.
workshops.
Yeah, I just love my mice.
Well, you
I mean,
definitely want
mouse
to
is a
build.
good suit for
Yeah.
it, but again,
Yeah,
as
you
we
got
said
2
before,
bags.
Vagabond's an issue.
I'm partial to the
Yeah.
mice.
You just want to love them till they're dead.
You definitely want to get that second workshop down,
just to
and you want to put it in a
clarify,
spot
like,
where
in
someone's going to
daylight,
kill it
exhaust an item in my crafting
because you want to
boxes, then
rebuild
one
it
hasn't
for
taken
2
it already,
points for 1 wood,
and
which is the best.
take a move or
conversion
cheat
in the
battle,
game.
so that could be fun. Sometimes it doesn't even come up though. And then I need to do a build, and I think I want to get sawmills. So I'll spend 2
Okay, so
wood to build a sawmill.
Third sawmill.
Gotta think about
It's
where
good.
it's gonna go.
Pretty
he's-
important to
cats are
our
good.
engine.
Could
Yep.
be nice and safe in the keep.
Yeah, is there 3 build spots in the keep now? Yeah, there is, right?
There's 2.
Oh, there's only 2.
One open, one filled.
Oh yeah, ruin, and
I
then
think I'll put it where it's safe to do
oh, okay.
so.
Yeah, there's 1 build spot in the ruin. I got you.
And
I
then
know root.
during daylight, I'm going to discard travel gear.
I'd like.
Pass.
Okay, I haven't heard
Or
any
2 points
indication that
for the
they're
sawmill.
turmoiling Eerie yet.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem if so.
If they don't turmoil Eerie, he's gonna score another like 8 points.
Giving me 1 point.
Wait, did he? Okay, he didn't. Never mind. I thought he discarded.
Then I'm going
I
to
thought he
take
did
a
that twice.
action. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, that's 3
That's my
actions.
second
Is
daylight
it
action.
build recruit? What was the
Oh,
And then, yeah, I don't
oh,
think
he
I
just did
have
the passes. Okay,
the woodland lines revolting up
So
there.
he still has
but
one
it's not
more
the worst.
pre Hawks for Hire
I
action.
mean, you got an easy check on the ear if you wanted to slow them down.
There you go. Someone brought it up.
You see this here.
Yeah.
But I've did this just because I didn't want to feed a lot alliance.
Yeah, so what we can think about is
So
the
Eerie
Eries
is
will have 2 buildings,
Trying to plead his
next
case
turn,
of not killing
or
it,
they're
I
going to have
guess.
trouble doing so.
Yeah,
mean,
the
I-
argument's that I only left it vulnerable because I was trying not to feed Wood in Alliance, which is
I don't think
admirable, but I don't know if
it
that's
is.
enough to convince a
Oh,
table.
I don't. The cat. If
just gonna take
no,
a
you have to do this.
second here
There's
to think about what I want to
there's
do.
no question.
Right.
There's times to be nice and root. This is not one of them.
My gut says hit sympathy, but I know it's not always best.
Oh my gosh, are they actually going to let this live? When he's at 16 points next turn, they may think that that was a bad move.
How much of a pain will it be? I mean, if the woodland line's on the edge of the board next to the keep, not too bad.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I think I'll say that offense is the best defense. Maybe I'm gonna hit the Eerie here.
Okay.
Because they have
All right.
2 warriors, and I can hit a 3 possibly.
The problem with this is this was your chance to get Eerie, and he might. I mean, he
unless
doesn't
you're
really
gonna
have that
say
many
about that,
troops on the
right?
board to reinforce that well,
no,
so
there's-
they can do the option next turn,
Okay.
but
So I'm gonna go ahead
that's
and
just
roll
giving him 6
this
more points
thing.
that he wouldn't have gotten. And
Go
he just rolled a
1-0.
1-0, which
But not my
basically
best,
is effectively doing
not my
nothing.
best day. So that's 3 actions. I'm gonna draw.
He would have been better not battling, probably.
Chat, what do you think? Does Fuglis like how this is going?
I mean, I just don't think that's. I mean, at the end of this turn, if Eerie pulls off their turn, which I don't see how they can't,
Let's do like
Because he
this.
can build.
Done.
Yeah, he can build easily.
We just slam in that recruit column.
Oh my lord.
No.
Yeah, he's gonna build twice, so he's gonna get to 5 roosts. If he kills 1 cardboard, so he's gonna score 7 points. He's gonna have 16 at the end of this turn.
Also, I don't have.
Like, why would you allow this to occur? Like, this makes no sense.
Let's go with 1, 2, 3 warriors.
And now, okay, here's problem number 2 with this strategy, or this what they decided to do.
And 1. And
now he's gonna have every roost out.
Yep.
So not only you'll be able to turmoil him by killing that mouse roost, but then he has all the roosts out, and once charismatic comes out, he's scoring like 3 points a turn, like base, and like then you got to deal with charismatic running around with tons of recruits. I mean, it's and now he's about to get his second. Well, now he left the fox one wide open. I don't know. This is a bizarre game right now. He's like, this guy's like, please turmoil me. I mean, he isn't saying that, but with his actions he is, but then no one does it.
So this is why I would have actually liked the cats to have built their sawmill over there, because it's such a lightly ruled clearing, and now they're going to lose it to a roost, kind of permanently. Whereas if they'd done it in the more central workshop mouse, the Eerie would have had to work a little harder for the rule. It would have been easier to get cat forces there to clear it out as needed, and it would at least keep Eerie out of your back line as well.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, Batmaster, thank you so much for the 2 months. Gregula, the table chose not to turmoil a double build despot, so we have problems.
It makes no sense.
Not everyone knows the dangers of double build despot, Douglas. Not everyone has played Route 500 times.
Yeah, but you can count though and see like, okay, how many points is this guy going to score? Oh, he's going to score 7? Maybe we should do something. And Eerie, I mean, this meta, like, I mean, that's how the kind of the meta shifts, and that's kind of how like the mole meta shifted. Like, moles were super strong year and a half ago, but then the meta shifted where people were like, okay, let's attack moles more, and that'll slow them down. So I think Eerie is a little bit in that area where they're winning games, so you got to pay attention to them a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's so for the table to be like, turmoil? Nah, let him do it. It's fine. It'll be fine. I mean, I think they'll do it next turn. I mean, he'll turmoil anyways next turn on build, but I can't imagine them allowing that to happen either.
Let's battle in. Yeah. Let's battle in this clearing.
Okay. No ambush.
I don't think there's any gamble. I'm not sure. Eerie's going to take a big lead. But I think they're finally going to wake up and have to deal with him. Yep, he's going to score 5 more, so he's going to have 16.
Stop. I'm building here.
This is just, I don't understand why they didn't turmoil him last turn.
Lose victory points.
Oh, when they pass 15, we have to gamble? Ooh.
Typically at the end of the round where somebody's hit 15, we...
Oh, wait.
Wait, what?
And,
did
he
we
turmoiled himself? What's happening? He didn't. I don't think he needed to turmoil. I don't think.
No, he didn't need to. But this is sort of the equivalent of putting a third card in build and doing it intentionally.
I mean,
I don't know. I still would have taken 1 less recruit and would have gotten that last roost out.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I looked at the board and maybe it was harder for him to move to 2 build spots than I thought. Okay, well, the game is back on. The problem for the table is, as I said, he has all his roosts out but 1, so he's scoring 4 points a turn and gaining 2 cards a turn. Yeah, so he's still a big danger. The cats are going to have to kill some of these roosts.
Okay.
And guess what? As the cats, you don't want to have to deal with that. You just don't.
I mean, Gray did leave the roosts all at least lightly all but 1 lightly defended.
Yeah, I mean,
that's still a pretty good place to be.
Oh no, I think the Eerie are in a very strong position here.
I will then use
the table's going to have the vagabond have to help out at some point. So this is not a bag.
And get a point.
No, he's still fine. actually.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm currently in a
So he can do the
clearing, so
he
I'm
can
going
do
to
the
hop
quest.
over that boot and the other boot.
Yep,
to
he did.
complete the escort objective thing.
Nice.
2 cards or a point.
And I will take that for the point.
Yeah, he has 5 cards. Don't really need to overdo it if you're not aiding a ton.
Vagrant having a solid start here.
That's another thing with the aid strat usually is you save some of those quests to like, or you at least try to plan quests. Like you take the points early on,
And then,
because then later you are probably going to take the cards if you're actually allied. So you can like hopefully draw, some cards that'll give you those 2 points.
Plus, you just don't need those early draws as Vagrant with coins.
True. Yeah, most the standard Vagabond thing is to take cards with the first one and then points for the rest of them.
I will end my turn. I'll draw 2 and then have to discard 2. Sorry, let me just.
You wanna aid me one? You don't have to discard.
I thought about it, but it doesn't do me any good. And as much as I like you, I don't want to just do you good for no good for me.
You could aid twice.
Yeah, if he aids twice.
Aid
true.
twice and toss the sword.
Game after all.
Yeah. Oh man, all this violence and hatred. Why can't we just wander around doing tasks and stuff?
Well, that's why you play the Vagabond if you don't want to.
So he doesn't have to. Cats don't have any items, so
Yeah.
it would
Yeah.
just be. You don't have to. You wouldn't be able to toss the sword.
I don't see any other options.
Oh, you're saying. Oh, you're right. He'd have to exhaust coins or a T. You're right. Yeah, he could just. The problem is he might need the sword. I mean, as sucky as it is, because.
I will be
But I guess he could live with the crossbow probably and take out some eerie troops. I don't know. This is a kind of a weird.
It's very points
setup
racy,
so
and it
far.
can be hard to
I went down there,
read points race games at this point.
Yeah.
Well, no Roost died on that turn. No Roosts are going to die on the Woodland Alliance turn because both his revolts are not in Eerie clearings.
Discard one of the cards I did.
So it's going to be up to the cats to
discard the path. That would be
kill some Roosts, and I assume he'll at least kill the one that's undefended.
Yeah, I can allow it.
But I doubt he's going to put much effort into the other
We're all
one.
very
Yeah.
I appreciate that. So I will
Table
discard
being
this
friendly and letting the Vagabond open that path,
and score a point.
even though
That's
technically
fine.
it was past it. He drew. He was past
he did
it.
draw.
Yeah.
And
That's
then I will
probably.
discard that card to get back down to
I
5.
mean, I'm sure he was
and end
honest,
my
but
turn.
yeah, that was probably a little too
Alright.
nice.
I'm gonna start things off with a revolt in that
Sweet.
top corner clearing.
Oh, there's the anvil.
Oh man, sword and hammer. Oof. Rip. Sorry, Vagabond.
I will
It's not gonna be rough.
decline to use field hospital.
Why did he go that corner instead of the other
Why
one?
not that one?
Yeah, why not the sawmill?
I don't
Well,
really
and
wanna
it's
be-
3. It has 3 clearings.
Right, it's three
Well,
paths.
True.
Actually, I can
Actually,
use
it's
any-
effectively only 2
any
because the
card
keep
for
is
field
right down there.
hospital.
So
No,
you
there's a
can't-
closed path next to it. So there's 3.
It doesn't have to be
Oh yeah, you're right.
Clearing the things are.
Okay, so I will.
Yeah,
clear.
I don't understand
Get one guy back.
why you'd revolt there, but
Yeah, just in time.
Warriors, not the clearing of the field.
Oh,
he does get an extra recruit
sorry, I thought maybe I
if he remembers. That is a
city, but yeah.
rule that people
Yeah.
miss a lot.
Okay.
Yep.
He has an extra Fox sympathy, so he gets another recruit, which is super good because it
Then-
just saves you an action.
I gain 2 warriors.
We're getting
there,
it. Nice.
Since I have
Yep,
2
good.
sympathetic clearings.
You know,
I mean-
chat, Vagrant came with Riverfolk
Go ahead and
expansion,
spread
if I recall.
sympathy.
Riverfolk came with the base game. It was the same Kickstarter.
Spread this.
Designed at the same time.
It was released at the same
Quite
time.
fun
It was just
in
extra.
that Same rabbit clearing.
So calling it not vanilla is a
Keeps
little bit of a
coming back.
stretch.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's not like the root. It's not that the 4 factions came out and then
very persistent.
2 months later they came
And
out. It was
then,
it was all at once.
I will spend 2. Oops. Check what happened there.
It's basically like the game was released with
To
6
place
factions.
one
Yeah.
in this clearing.
And if you backed that first Kickstarter, you got those extra ones for free.
Yeah. I waited in. I did miss the first Kickstarter. I did not, and then I played it at a convention, and I was like, "Holy crap, this game is awesome!" And I went to Gen Con
Then
in a big convention in
Daylight.
Indianapolis and waited in a super long line at the leader booth to get my copy of.
still not a lot to do during daylight. I'm just gonna mobilize this 1 card. During evening, I will Let's see, I have one action. Just gonna recruit.
All right. I mean, Woodland's in it. They're right there, but again, the problem is...
All right.
Not getting a train that turn hurts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, your
3
officer
wood
economy
in the morning.
needs to be really high,
1,
especially in this game because Erie...
2,
I mean, again, you got to look... That's one thing sometimes I make the mistake, too. I think I made a mistake in that last tourney game where I'm like, oh, wait, the River Folk are
so
going
I
to score
lost
this
the
much?
recruiter,
Oh,
so I'll
rip.
build a recruiter.
But you got to look at what Erie's going to score on their turn. They're going to score 4 for sure.
4
So he's
points.
already
I'll
at
take a few
15.
roosts. So I probably want to do a battle there.
And he's going to battle, and I assume he'll probably battle Sympathy.
To do everything.
So at worst, he's at 16 at the end of his turn. So that's a pretty large gap. And you're almost getting into like turn clock situation if you don't do something quickly.
Yeah.
Because Erie could literally win in 2 turns after that if like a lot of roosts aren't killed. I mean, you could. We'll see.
Discarding a bird card.
This is a place where turn order is really rough for cats because the table can force cats into the policing position, and that is absolutely where cats do not want to be.
No, you're not. No, because he's not even a good board position to do it either because he's gonna have to waste turns marching just to kill some of those other roosts.
I think I'm going to engage in a battle against.
Yeah, even losing 3 roosts. Yeah, I mean, Erie's in a very strong spot. I think they should have turmoiled him the first time. Okay, he's killing Sympathy. Okay. I mean, I would probably kill that Sympathy too, for sure, because it's super terrible if he lost that clearing.
Just to solidify it, but I get the bonus hit.
But he definitely needs to kill...
Take 1 point for that.
The undefended roost at least. But even that's not enough, I don't think.
And then I'm going to take...
And
yeah.
Did you have a
sorry about that. Yes, of course. Here is a mouse.
Yeah, it's just one of those unfortunate situations where you have Wooden Alliance Sympathy all over your key clearings, so you have to defend them. But by doing that, it's diverting your attention from where it needs to be, which is the Erie.
Yeah.
And there's not really a good choice here.
This is why, I mean, this is a prime example of why cats are hard to play, because you're not able to do the things that are going to score you the most points.
And then...
Just a rock and a hard place. Bad decisions all the way down.
Okay, all right. So it looks like he might be taking 2 roosts out.
Our friend, the Alliance.
Maybe. So he's done 2 actions. And he played a bird card, I think.
This yellow ambush. Remove a pass.
Opening paths, that's good.
Yeah. I mean, cats are in this, but they're going to have to slow Erie down to have a chance.
Somehow get missed.
Yeah,
that's actually the last closed path. Those went quickly once they started.
Yeah, I've seen games where they just hung around forever, and I'm just like, why?
I know, it's leaving points on the table.
Yes, user anomaly. This is a base game battle.
It's a base game faction mix with Vagrant. Whether you consider that base game or not is...
Without having warriors.
Yes, he's not, what the base is, Tinker, Thief, and
Ranger.
As I remember, it's just a piece.
It's not warriors.
Here is a remove close power. Spell card, remove close power. Any faction piece. Yeah, it's there.
Okay, so then they could just maybe do it themselves, so I'm not going to worry about it. All right, so I have done a march. I have also done a battle. And I have 2 actions remaining. Unless someone wants to
2 actions left. I would love to see him just fight Erie twice.
1.
Or at least once in build. I guess he does have 3 wood on the table.
Yeah, 1 in a build would be pretty... Well, a build and a 1 would be pretty solid.
There.
Do you...
and I would definitely build a sawmill.
It's...
Yeah, I would...
It's too late to, like... worry about your recruiting engine. I think.
Here.
This game is accelerating rapidly, and you can't afford to be scoring like 2 points a turn.
This one's still sitting there.
Yeah, no problem.
So that's building.
Looks like he's only going to build a recruiter though.
Gives me 2 points.
Boo.
Yeah, I would have preferred to see Sawmills pushed harder here.
Well, the benefit is you could still because the next 2 Sawmills are only 3, so if you get out enough overworking and enough Sawmills, you can basically build twice in a turn, which is going to help you catch up.
I want to slow down their points.
Oh, anyway.
But he didn't kill any roosts. Well, he has one more action.
Yeah, we have
so
one
he still
action.
Might.
Let's not judge him yet.
This has been. I'm not judging. This game's hard.
Game's hard.
Dude, anyone watched my last game? I made plenty of bad mistakes. So
I'll roll for it unless you have an ambush.
It's very easy. Well, he at least killed it.
Undefended.
It's very easy to watch from this vantage point for sure.
And then I'll draw 2 cards.
What did we?
We do need to remove that roost though.
Yeah, we killed that.
Yeah, could you please?
Hello now.
Hi, that roost is still there.
Alliance is a type of card. Was it?
Sorry, it was. I gave them a mouse.
Anyone?
Mouse card. Okay.
Healer?
And the second one was there before, or?
Yeah, they must have mobilized it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm.
It's gonna be Roost Gate.
Okay, so that's not,
Tree Gate.
Tree Gate.
So it wouldn't be.
I mean, it is on Eerie to remove it because you did say do not touch anyone's pieces.
Yeah, but the whole table should also be screaming at Eerie like, "Hey, take that off the map right now."
But it's. I will say in a tournament game, it is sometimes hard to I try. I definitely try more to try to pay attention to what everyone's doing. But you're always usually into your own head, like, okay, what I gotta do? What I gotta do?
Yeah.
So let's start my bird song.
All right.
And I know if you're not super proficient with TTS, it can be real hard to zip the camera around and pay attention to everything.
Here, is it? It's not even safe.
Yeah, it's a new leader. It's the 5th Eerie leader where they just don't lose roosts. It's kind of busted. They didn't get it did not get through playtesting apparently.
On the left and mouse is on the right, and I'm scared to put anything in the move.
City if you need to move it over, not central.
Yes, Lily, that would be
strongly.
Eerie would
the mouse
never
are on
lose.
the left, and the
There had to be a downside though. What would be the downside if you couldn't lose roosts?
Yeah.
I don't know what the down how would you balance that? I don't know.
It's not worth thinking about that. Come on now.
No, we're having fun with chat while they're thinking.
You can't place roosts, but they don't get destroyed. That's a equilibrium. What's up, Rudy? You have the Platinum Angel leader. Perfect.
Do I need moves? I need moves, but
Still have not noticed the roost.
Anyway. No, that puts here.
Oh man, we are going so hard on recruits.
Whoa. Well, I mean, I don't blame him, but I don't like the bunny recruit because if you lose out on charismatic,
have you removed my?
You're in trouble. Oh, there. Yeah, you pointed it out.
Forgot to remove it.
Yeah.
Look at that Eerie player. Very nice.
Actually, it's a 3-pointer.
Yeah, I mean, he does have 3 bunny roosts, so he's probably pretty safe in not losing all of them anytime soon. But I'm not sure I love it. Oh, he crafts coins.
Ooh, good craft.
If I had, why didn't he just? I might have actually considered builder.
It's
if I
a trap.
had coins in my hand. Yeah,
it's
probably.
a trap.
It's probably true.
Oh no, it's not.
One coin is not enough for builder to be better than.
The problem with putting bunny in recruit here is if he does turmoil again, he's probably in trouble because commander.
And I'm sorry, did you craft?
And commander is, I mean, Eerie's the greatest, one of the best factions in the game, but I've very rarely seen commander utilized.
I've got it here.
I mean, commander's just.
It's just so fragile.
Right. I mean, if you need an aggressive leader, charismatic's just better because it
like
has the recruiting
does
to support
everything
it.
better. Yeah, exactly. Like the extra hit is nice, but extra warriors are better. Basically.
Right.
So he might be stuck going builder last, which isn't the worst, but definitely not ideal. But again, he does have 3 bunny roosts. The odds of him losing them all is
I mean,
probably slim.
Permastuck, you have a point.
Probably this sympathy.
Yes, he's one of the coolest art. I agree.
Numbers, okay. So I should
He
just
looks mean.
remove this.
He looks
Score
superb.
on point.
But you can't like. I don't think there's
And,
any
you could take a card from
commander
the
like
deck.
start with commander strat. I just don't. I want to come up with
Okay,
one.
yeah. That was mistake. I should better battle this.
I mean, you might be able to pull it off if you can
Could I,
survive the first few turns.
Could I just rewind and
with
battle to
getting
this
some
sympathy?
bunnies and recruit just
Instead
so you're
of
recruiting
this
more?
one?
I don't know. I'm not sure how to
you
do
want
it.
to change it?
I think it's impossible.
Actually,
it doesn't-
yeah,
so it doesn't spread as easy?
no. It's
I'm
not.
just gonna get on
problem.
Root Digital and just
Yeah,
theory
you can
craft it.
change it.
Just pick
No.
pick commander first every
Because,
time and see how many points I
it's
can
right,
score.
because I removed yellow one and he couldn't. Yeah, everything's okay. Sorry, it's battle and it's now 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4.
This should be a danger to the table because
that's all.
he is now well protected. His roosts are
And
4 of them have 3 guys, and he's
I
recruiting
just
6 a
wanted
turn.
to verify
So
it's
this
only
is
removing
bad.
warriors, not pieces, that causes a faction to go hostile with me, correct?
Yeah, table should be on red alert right now.
So I'm
100%.
going to refresh
Because
5 items,
and I think sadly the vagabond
which happens to be how many
is
I
going to
have
need
exhausted.
to participate. I would love to see the vagrant
will
go
slip
to not there.
up here.
I would have loved him
I'm sorry,
to
before
go
I do
to
that,
the
I was just kidding, seeing if y'all were
eerie
paying
cat
attention.
clearing with the
Uh,
eerie the
well,
cat
sorry,
recruiter
I'm
where they each
talking
have
myself
3 and do some
extensively here.
instigations.
In fairness,
Time.
the Eerie are going to Turmoil on their next recruit, actually. They have 5 in the supply. I thought they had 6. I thought they had an extra turn.
Oh, okay. Well,
I
hopefully the
will,
table sees
exhaust
that.
the
But
crossbow
Yeah, because they could
to,
actually inadvertently make things worse by feeding the Eerie.
Sympathy here.
Yeah, are we just... Is this just an exploding mid-game
I
pivot?
have no idea. This is way over my
I do
strategic
still get
brain, apparently.
a card if you.
Yeah, but does the table realize he only has 5?
That is accurate.
I mean,
and
if they kill
totally
1,
remembered that
it's all
ahead
for
of
nothing.
time.
Yeah, so
And there's no new information in the card.
That guy.
Now he'll only lose 3 points and
Well,
he'll
they had
gain
that plan.
4, so he'll only gain 1 point. But
Then
you will get him out of charismatic. But you will have to, between his next 2 turns, you're gonna have to
I
kill
will
a few
spend
roosts.
Oh, for sure.
Go Canadian style and head over here. I will spend my torch to
So he's gonna get his bag.
reveal
This is
this
his last
guy.
item.
Scoring point.
It's a good time.
Yes. Everyone,
Just to start
Hat and the Cat brings up a
Are
huge
we
point
worried about
is
the Eerie,
with
or do we
Eerie
feel
in the
like we're
game,
all keeping pace?
everyone
worried
should
about the Eerie.
be like, can he be
But I guess
turmoiled?
no one can
Yep.
stop him but me.
And if the answer
I
is
would
yes,
love to
then
be able
how
to
do we do it?
assist in slowing him down, but I do not
Absolutely.
have those martial powers up and running.
Just one
A
of those
lot of
things
times-
you need to be paying attention to the other players and how to stop them.
Actions to be
Yep.
able to
You
help.
can't just be heads down. You have to be heads up.
And really good Eerie players will usually
I'm going
Not-
And Tick, we have no winners.
to
This is a
move
bloodbath game.
back to the Lost City.
Did I forget to tell you? I'm
I
sorry.
will use the hammer,
Yes, this is
craft this bag.
this is a
For a point.
winner moves on, losers go home game.
Yep.
But yes, I mean a lot of no turmoil strats are certainly more popular, I think. But are they stronger? I have no idea.
I think one turmoil strats can be really effective.
Oh yeah, for sure. I
Oh,
just
yeah,
don't.
so many
Yeah, like
options,
double build into
and I'd
charismatic
love to,
is
but the card
so
is
strong.
just a little bit
Yeah.
tight at the moment.
That's fair.
Sorry. Yeah.
But if you get perfect card draw, you're drawing tons of birds, straight up bird and everything.
Okay.
Never turmoil. Obviously, you got to watch your recruit
So then I
your
will end my
recruit level
turn
because
and
that's the
drop
only
the
thing
cards.
that will be a significant danger. All right, so Vagabond did not kill any birds, so he understood the assignment. Not that they've talked about it, I'm not sure. I doubt Woodland will do it.
They're communicating psychically, so everything's fine.
So will Cats kill any birds?
Just gonna
Hopefully not, because at this point he should
mobilize
just
my
go
hand.
build like crazy and try to score some
Then,
points.
During evening, I will
So he spread no sympathy in. Man, he has that many. Wait, he has. Oh, did he just
Move.
mobilize too? Yeah. Okay.
One guy over here. Hello.
User anomaly. That's the exploding birds opening
Cards.
into
Okay.
commander. I think you're saying.
All right.
I mean, the issue is just that
All right. In
it's slow.
Go cat.
daylight.
Ability to be the reddest of the
Well,
red.
and even though you have 12 birds,
on the
like
birds.
commander chews through them so fast
Right.
because
I
mean, you're usually losing 2 or 3 a turn,
And the issue with
Not-
any strat that pushes the recruiting
So,
early,
yeah,
like even if it's not pure exploding, even if you're just pushing recruiting like in a little bit of a slower manner, the table is just going to respond and police those extra recruits and just offset the recruiting that you're doing.
Craft it. That works too.
build 2 workshops, wait a turn, craft you. Sorry.
The real strength of a no turmoil charismatic or of a mid-game pivot into charismatic is it gives you that recruiting going into the mid and late game where it's really
What if I craft
important.
you but you say you're going to take 1 crossbow shot, so no cost to you at a lone Eerie, or finish off whatever work I start today.
Oh
Like
no.
you can finish off a roost or
Want
something.
to do
I
his
hear
job.
the
think
cat's
they're gonna-
talking about hitting the Eerie.
I can do a little bit.
Yeah.
of cleanup, but
Underleveled, this is actually exactly when we should be gambling right now.
Don't ask him.
And I have no clue what to make the gamble.
I would
Man,
wait
look at that
till
face.
the end
That
of this
says,
turn.
"Trust me."
If he allows Eerie
Well, I'm
to
going to trust this Vega.
survive, then
No,
I
right? Okay.
yeah, I would wait to
2
see what
points before
happens
it
because
disappears.
it's going to be a big
forever.
difference if they turmoil Eerie or they let him live.
we can give it 1 extra round.
Okay. Well, I thought just this turn. But
This
I guess
turn?
you want to do it. You want to do a
Yeah, it's
full round
interesting,
of play,
actually,
right?
but,
It,
I think maybe I should put the workshop.
Well, the cats have already technically started, so you can't really
in the
gamble
keep.
now, right?
think
Well,
I
I
think
could. I can make it
that was a better pick.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a big difference.
It's
If they
almost
hit
very
Eerie,
effective, except that we let
I don't
the,
think they're going to slow him
hunters
down
go
at
out of
all
control and
because
rampage
they
all
just
over
keep him
everything,
going.
so-
For
I
some
mean-
reason, I think I misremembered. I thought like
True, gambling is fun when
recruiter
you have
was
no
the
idea
smart
what's going to happen.
but
So yeah.
you actually already have the warriors there. So.
So what's the
Yeah,
gambling?
usually
Is it
it's
Eerie
the,
versus everybody?
The workshop
Um,
or possibly a sawmill, so they can overwork more easily.
I almost think it's Eerie
Yeah.
versus everybody.
Well, lesson learned.
Yeah.
I don't think
learned.
Woodland
I'm
is
gonna-
Woodland is
Sorry, why don't I
is
focus on
getting
this?
a
I'm
little
gonna
too far
spend my
behind
first
for my
action.
comfort. They only have 1 officer.
yeah.
They do have a
Yeah.
ton of
Recruiting.
supporters though.
So I'm actually
I don't know.
already, so
Hard to see.
I don't know.
Hard to tell.
maybe I don't need to do this.
Maybe.
I'll do it. 1,
I don't know.
The only time I ever gambled my precious channel
Okay,
points
got
is
1.
lost. So I'm not a good gambler in these
and
things.
3.
I can't remember what game it was. Oh, it was I think it was the game with the backstab. I think.
I'm gonna get the gamble going.
Maybe I can't afford
All right.
to recruit, actually. now that I
You're
think
just gonna
about
go straight up.
it. I need to build.
I'm gonna make it.
You're back.
What did I make it?
You'll allow me. Those 3 go back to the pile.
Let me check what I made it.
You have
I made it seat 1 or 2
Yeah.
or seat 3 or 4. So you're betting on either the Cats and Eerie or the Vagabond and Wooden Alliance.
Yeah, I think I just gotta
Fair.
hit somebody. So
Feathery body.
I kind of want to hit them in mouse, or I just hit them where I'm standing.
I mean, if the cats allow Eerie to turmoil,
Okay,
I think
I can
cats
go.
are in a pretty decent spot.
And at the same time, I think Vagabond's doing well.
Oh no, he's
I don't think I can outrace
chugging
them,
along
I mean, they're not
secretly.
building. They got
No
4
one's really
turns.
paying attention to him.
Permastuck Vagabond has 1 crossbow and 1 sword, plus a
Okay, so
hammer.
Let's start by building a sawmill for 3
And that's
points.
but that's the
We got
biggest
another
benefit
thing.
of
Put it right here.
DI is that when
1.
a vagabond's in the game, the game doesn't turn into how many times do we need to hit the vagabond, which is nice.
Yeah.
So,
It becomes a little bit more about root instead of anti-vagabond.
And the Vagabond really feels like someone, like, sort of
okay,
wandering
I'll
through the
just hit them where I
forest
have
trying to play
3
all the
warriors
sides
to be-
because they
Right,
really
instead of
need.
just everyone's enemy.
Yeah.
Maybe ambush
Everyone's
yellow.
punching bag.
no ambushes.
Or before I roll, well, I guess you already told me you had no ambush, so I should commit to it.
Well, uh-oh. Well, who did he battle?
2-0.
Well, R.I.P. Turmoil.
Yeah.
Rip
I wonder if
Turmoil.
I wonder if
And
they didn't notice it or they didn't
So
care.
just to confirm, I'm gonna build
I really think he needed a
and
turmoil there
a
because
battle, so I have 1 more, right?
finishing the game as commander or builder,
That's my
very
understanding, yeah.
different than finishing
Yeah,
as charismatic for sure.
Worth
The recruit
looking
engine
around.
is
I mean, they've
almost
bought
garbage.
Erie's bought another turn. They certainly haven't bought two.
But
Like, I don't think there's any way they last 2 turns. So do they just run into this same problem next
That's
round?
a good point. I mean, he's gonna he's gonna recruit 6 and have 1.
Right.
Do they kill 5? I mean, who knows? I don't know. I mean, at the end of this next turn,
I
if
only
he
have
doesn't
one
build,
without
he'll
the
be another 4 points. I assume he'll kill.
Second
Actually, there's not any really super easy cardboard to kill.
All right,
So
let's hit
yeah,
the
he may only score 4 points.
Any ambush?
Is he attacking Erie again?
Yes.
Okay.
I think the goal is to push through and wipe, a roost.
I like it. I think the
Yeah, I mean, I
cats-
like taking out roosts.
Sorry, you were trying to talk me out of it?
The only concern was whether you should wait around and let them turmoil
No,
to get rid of
ambush.
charismatic, you know?
No,
Okay.
that's it.
But here we are. So I like at least committing and following through with a roost.
And then I'm gonna exhaust my tea.
Getting a use out of loam, which is great.
Use my tea to battle.
Yes, with a vagabond, it's not always easiest.
Although it sounds
But he-
like
but he just crafted it, so that's good. Yeah.
it sounds like he
Well-
wishes he'd used one of his normal actions on recruit so he could battle with this one.
Um,
But oh well.
Move. Give this queen
Wait, did we just march?
uh,
hotter.
Yeah. Oh, you're
Mm.
right. It's just a move.
It's
Yep.
just a move.
that was not correct.
So that was my
This
fourth
displeases
action
me.
using the tea.
Move
I
gate.
have three I'll get 2 cards.
I think the
There we go. Someone caught it.
only gives 1 movement for the
Oh.
cats.
Okay. I'll put them back then. Because it's not a march, you're right. It's not a march. Good call. Do I still want to just put them
Everything
out of there, maybe?
displeases you.
Well, martial law's nice. So is everything else. You know what I'll do? Instead of a move, I'll do.
Why not just pull a dude from a corner or something? Like pull that cat
Yeah.
from the corner over?
Yeah, I mean, there's
Yeah,
one
like
that's
the
trapped
man.
in that 2 roost clearing, so I mean, just
I'm gonna do a battle.
reinforce it with one more guy.
right
I mean, I don't
here.
think he needs to. You don't need to reinforce recruiters that heavily. You want to protect your sawmills for sure. So where's he battling?
Just kill an Eerie warrior over there.
That's bizarre, but okay.
Do
I'd rather just. Well, he probably won't be able to. He probably needs to use his league somewhere
Like to
because
prove that
Vagabond
I'm
is
not
most
the
likely
one
going to
who
take
has
that T.
I mean, I'd still rather martial
Oh,
law
we
it up
Yeah,
over by Wooden Alliance, you know?
Oh yeah.
Just a
All right, we lost. We lost
You
it
have
again.
to
We
show
lost him again.
this. I don't think it's trust.
I have to show.
User anomaly. Seats 1 and 2
Okay.
are
I think
well-
I just disconnected. You guys can end my turn. Basically, you can look up both my cards. I don't mind. One of them is a mouse. It's League of Adventurous Mice.
Least,
I'm gonna pull off.
I think I should look at them because I'm.
If you look at the top
Yes.
of the screen,
Yeah,
it
so
shows them.
look at my
It's
cards.
cats and birds, but cats just dropped out for a second.
About this?
Well, no, it doesn't matter because I'm just
Okay.
admitting.
Okay.
I'm gonna say I'm disconnected. So if you guys can just.
But also, I think the gamble's
Look at my
over, so
hand.
if you missed it, you
You'll
missed
see
it.
that one of them is League, and you can discard the false.
Sorry.
And then Eerie can start their turn. Those 2 cards in front of me are the ones I drew.
Okay.
Sorry, I just.
Okay.
Only
Just
3
a little
people
unstable.
wagered on seat 3 or 4.
So, yeah, there was another leak.
I hope for a huge upset then.
Well, I bet on 1 and 2, so yeah,
And,
my betting track record's not great. So we could have a crazy comeback.
Roll for something like 1-1 and mouse partisans still 1 extra hit. Okay, so -2 from my side and -1 from your side.
Yeah, and then I'll discard the League of Adventurous Mice for Field Hospital.
Okay, I'll grab that.
Okay.
Okay. Nev, I don't know why you're asking me about the bird board position. Gamble's over. We're still finishing off the cat's turn.
The bird board is a lot of recruiting.
It's okay because I was miscalculating last turn and I
Nev, you missed some interesting gameplay.
and 6
The
guys to but you-
The table is
so-
determined to not turmoil the Eerie.
yes,
They've made it their
Uh,
mission.
Erie has been turmoilable twice now.
but
in
anyway,
extremely
I would
easy
just
fashion.
spend my turn with
They could have just
less,
killed one mouse roost that was
builds,
undefended to
and
turmoil him,
then
and they
anyway
chose not
I
to.
would
And they could have
go
just not
for-
hit him, and he would have turmoiled on recruit,
No one noticed
and
that.
they chose not to.
Well, you noticed it.
So if he wins,
Oopsie.
which I'm not, I mean, I don't necessarily think he's in the best position anymore, but if he does win,
so
they will have
let's,
to look back on those
put-
moments and wonder what could have happened.
Probably I should just recruit everything now and battle, but then I would lost.
I could really see this
whole
going
turn,
to like
so I
anyone
would
at this moment.
better
I mean, I think
not
Erie
do this.
was in a humongously strong position, but I think
I
they
need
are
mouse,
not as very strong right now
just
because they are
that kind of
presumably going to
move,
turmoil next turn.
and,
Plus, they're only if he doesn't build, he's only scoring
and I
3
need
points
more
a turn,
battles.
which at this stage of the game is not that great.
I think he overcommitted to recruiting and not enough to
Mhm.
policing. You know,
Yes, Darth Caboose. Cats are about as strong a position as cats could be at this stage of the game.
Mm,
right?
two
Somehow
battles.
Erie have been beaten back enough to open up some slots for cats. Like cats are
I
doing
use,
okay in building slots right now.
this
They've got
build
3
as,
sawmills. It's a great place to
source
be
three
doing this from.
battles in,
Bird should
every,
turmoil next round because he will only he'll have 4
for
left in
any
his
card, so,
supply,
yeah,
but
I could just move
the way
here
that the
and
table
battle
doesn't
those
care,
ones.
they may kill 4
clearance,
more.
yeah.
But he is battling twice, so
That's
he might
fine.
just lose the 4.
Right? He might have,
So first
with the
let's,
extra policing that happened, he might make it 2 turns now.
He might. You're right. So he's battling twice. I'm trying to figure out where he's battling the mouse. Well, there is that juicy 2-cat wood sawmill clearing up there. If he can get there, he can easily. Oh no, he only has
Yeah,
one.
he only has the
move.
1 move. I mean, are we just gonna assault the
He
keep?
might turmoil. Oh yeah, because the Lost City is any battle.
here.
I mean, going for the keep is suicide, basically. Oh,
I mean, suicide's
subs.
kind of what we want. Whoa, Douglas! Thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Place. And then let's do a move and 2 battles.
Okay, so he's going
So
to move
let's
one
go
time. I
like
guess he is going to the
1,
Lost
2,
City
3,
because that's
4,
the
4.
only. Well, he could fight in just a
Yeah.
meaningless mouse clearing,
That's
which
correct. Let's go here.
this is so bizarre, but I'm here for it, I suppose.
2 cards. It's not that great, but let's try. And first battle here. I'm battling.
I mean, right, as you pointed out, I mean, he has 2 cards. It doesn't matter what 2 cards those are.
Yeah.
Those 3
no,
guys are
much.
coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
And this isn't Commander. We don't have Partisans. We're not getting a 4th hit in any way.
Right. So the best case scenario is you just make the cats lose 2 cards.
Well, that's what I'm
That's the
wondering.
best case scenario.
Obviously, I want to protect the keep, but I have to watch the turmoil, and I'm like, can't believe I missed that. That's the number 1 thing to look for. So
Yeah, he's at 4 right now, so
I think she's infinite membership
Yeah.
user anomaly.
Oh, this
I
is pretty
mean,
interesting.
but
So I don't know if
then-
you heard what they're saying, but
so now you're putting in the 5th.
he was
so
debating
if-
whether or not
if
to let
he
them
fights you,
take
you're
the
gonna probably
keep.
deal 1
In
back
other
to
words,
your sword. So
in other words, don't field hospital.
there's really
So
no
then the Erie will
for-
battle again there for the
Yeah.
points, but not lose another warrior. So he would only
man, I
have
knew
5. Now it's
there was
weird for
something
them
weird
to
about
making
battling,
this
like, this is not gonna
conversation
work.
now
I'm
when they
gonna
could have
battle, I'm gonna
easily
lose
just
this
done
game.
this last turn.
And
Yeah, well, if you listen, Opie's been saying how much
Oh, man.
he's kicking himself
Yeah, I know.
for not
He's
seeing
probably
it
going
earlier,
down this game.
and now he's paying attention for
Yeah,
it. So
just
like
thinking
now
about
that he
the
realized he
possible-
missed it, he's hyper focusing on it. You know what I mean?
Right,
He's overcorrecting.
yeah.
So what do you think?
Definitely
You,
happy that
I mean,
Bill's
I can't
not good
imagine
cards.
just giving
I
up
can
that middle
also
clearing
do
and the keep
partisan.
is
Yeah.
If you
better
had a
than-
better concentration of forces nearby to move back in,
Yeah.
I would be a bigger fan of it. Like just let the clearing wipe and then move back in and rebuild. But
Right.
I mean, you don't actually have that many forces nearby.
No.
Like those, you've got those 3
He's
warriors
so
off on the
spread
left
out
side
still,
doing
yeah.
nothing. Those are the ones I'd want nearby to be able to.
But you
It's
could,
just it was
recruit
definitely an
this
interesting
here
game
one more
situation,
and
though. Like,
use your. Okay, you have 1 more slot here and here, so no chances to block.
So I think he still has one more
Loki
battle.
buildings,
He
and
does.
you have another sawmill for 3.
Yeah, he's starting to count cat points, which you should do, and
Yep.
realize that cats are going to
Vagabond is not
be
that close
at the end of the next turn,
to
22
win.
area.
It's probably I
23.
should only stop.
Oh, a
No.
cat's sitting on 4 sawmills?
You.
Ooh, yeah, table should be scared.
Yes.
I didn't notice the 4th one.
So let's battle here again.
All right, so he's just so Erie's not going to turmoil unless you roll
No
0-0.
ambushes. Again, cats. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, no ambush.
So if there's a 0-0, he could turmoil, and there is not, or not a 0-0, but
Yes.
a something 0.
All right.
Do you want to
I
save
guess
So
them?
he lost 2 birds. He will not turmoil, but
Yeah, I don't think I can afford.
did
to
he
do
really
damage
gain
to
anything
points,
from
and there's no
this?
key.
Not really. He'll score his 3
Mm,
points from.
I gotta do it. I just really wanted to
He'll
craft
score
an
his
egg.
3 points from his
Otherwise-
building, but that's not really much at this stage of the game. And he still has some of the same issues going into the next turn, which is
I
Too
think
many
Gray's realizing he should have gone after a sawmill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, it's.
but he has too many recruits. He still has to battle in mouse, which if he can't get to one.
No, he just
I mean,
he just battled in
No, I know,
in
but
the future.
next
You mean,
turn,
yeah.
next turn he's gonna have to figure out because he
Should
He,
I build right
certainly
now,
doesn't want
or
to just butt into the
maybe
keep
next
for the
time?
rest of the
Right
game.
away.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Let's refresh it.
There you go.
And yeah.
Cool. Mistakes are made. That hurts. All right.
Okay.
Well, there's some lightly.
All right, so how can these other players get back in the game? Obviously, Woodland.
That's
They're not-
sigh. Fungus is tired.
No. I'm just trying to think like.
Focus is sick of their shit.
My standards.
Well, I guess you
I
only
mean,
have one
Woodland
sword
is
still, yeah, I guess
bursty,
you need
but
two to get through.
he only has one officer. He
Right.
has
I mean, this.
the worst base on the map probably, or one of them, unfortunately. I mean, he didn't have much choice.
Well, he did have a choice. He could have done the other.
That's true. He
The
could
other
have done the other one.
clearing.
Okay, so he did have a choice. So yes, he should have taken the other base.
Going to
1000%.
exhaust a big.
He would have killed a sawmill as
to
part B
complete this
of
quest for
taking
2
that.
points.
So some quests for the vagabond.
I mean, Vagabond's in a great space. Just,
I mean, he's
it's
hanging
probably
in
like,
there.
It's probably like
I will
1
be-
to 2 turns behind the other factions.
The
Like,
problem is he needs the Eerie to do real damage to the
Right.
cats, not go into the keep and just butt heads.
he needs Eerie and Cats to implode against each other and
Yes.
and slow each other down.
Like if if the Eerie had killed a sawmill that turn,
Going to
Vagabond would actually be in a
leave the
pretty good
Eerie,
spot because cats would be slowed down a
for
little
1
bit.
point.
But no, Vagabond. I mean, he's definitely a dark horse.
And
I think
exhausted
Woodland
to
is
do that.
almost out of it. I've seen crazier plays, but the problem is his action
And I
economy and
will
his
be taking the
positioning is just
coins
not very
back.
good. We'll see how he does on this turn. He has a
It's an
ton
important
of
part of this
supporters. He
process.
has 5 supporters.
I think this is the last turn for Wooden Alliance to get into it. Like they need a big push this turn, or
The
else
problem
they're
is
just
he
too far
can't
behind.
get another base.
Right.
He can only spread. He doesn't want to spread to that bunny
Then
clearing because
I
he already has
will,
the
Oh man.
over or the
Help
out.
fuel the
No,
war
what's it called?
machine to
Organized
stop the
guy there.
cats by aiding.
But you're right.
Twice
Vagabond could be
to-
tied with cats.
The kitty cats.
All right. let's go.
That's 2 more points.
Yeah, but he would win.
Let's move my piece, not the cat's piece. That would be an important thing.
Yeah, he's definitely in this.
Yeah, I mean,
He's,
it's a little
his-
dark horse, but I think Vagrant could take this home.
As I said,
He
let
does have a
us-
3-point
well,
quest
let's see
whenever he
here.
wants.
Yeah, Erie's got
He
7.
can exhaust T.
And that
he
logistics
also-
help is a 2-point quest. Like it's
Hold on, he just made a fatal
think
error though.
I
Hopefully he'll remember.
want to
He
instigate
just
a
aided
fight
the cats
between the
twice
Eerie
and
and
did
the
not take the
cats.
other T.
Don't do it.
To help
Hopefully
make
he
sure
sees
that
that
everything
because
goes smoothly.
that's gonna hurt.
and also we need to bump up the relationship level.
Yes,
Yeah.
because if he took the other T,
Become a
he
big
could
force in the
do
Lost
a
City. I
3-point
think it's gonna
Fox
make it
quest
too
this
easy
turn,
for the Eerie to
exhausting T and. Well, actually, he'd have to
complete
dump some
their-
итens if he did that, so
So
maybe
you-
not.
you
But he could
declare
dump the
attacker.
sword, probably.
I do.
Yeah, I mean, dump that sword and just lock into the aiding strat because it's working.
Yep.
So I assume.
Yeah,
that
but he
you would want it
forgot
to
the
be half
T.
in this case.
T gate.
Yes, please.
Cool. Unless you-
Technically, aid is optional for
around.
taking the item.
Well,
So
True.
it's not breaking a rule. It's just
It is not. You're right.
It's just
not
hurting
breaking,
you.
but it is
on a
it-
fundamental
it's
level.
super hurting because he is so good.
That's okay. So let's.
No, Love Shard. Wind Alliance is just
because-
all right, you got to
Yeah.
make
had a rough
plan for
go of
what,
things.
Oh, is he
Made a couple
instigating?
questionable choices.
Uh,
know if you hit this or heard this, but the bird.
So he is. It looks like he is instigating in the
is
keep.
afraid of hairballs, and
they did.
yeah.
Did not. They
I
did not.
I mentioned that was
Instigate.
said to Cat Warriors, and they just went off.
Oh, I
The-
can't believe it.
To
He exhausted the torch.
Can I field hospital after ambush?
Yes, he is. It sounds like I hear talk to field
yes,
hospital, so he is
that's
instigating in the
one
keep.
field hospital, but I'm not sure if it's getting back before.
Wait, did he
battle.
roll already?
I was done.
No, they didn't.
Yeah.
They used an ambush, and now they're trying to figure out if
Oh.
field
Like
hospital.
field hospital right after an ambush before the battle starts.
Yeah, whenever
Yeah,
pieces
that's
are
fair.
removed, right?
Yeah,
I'm
but
pretty
people are
sure
used to
that's right.
digital, and they don't know the
Guerric.
timing.
Guerric?
Clarify for us.
Yeah.
What's the question?
Can I field hospital right after an ambush before the battle?
You can.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
Now
Morrow.
the
Yeah. If any troops are removed, it is going to hostile them.
the
So
Vegas
yeah,
stands to kill my
if
keep.
basically this is like a 1-1, then he's basically just
Uh,
hostile now with
I
both
don't think I
factions.
Yeah, he may not realize.
Never
In which
did.
case, this is
I don't think I can afford you. I'm not.
Yeah,
crucial
I
mistake.
don't. Yeah, I don't like this move that much, just because I think he was the questing and stuff. Because now it's just
2-1-1.
him try, but he could just sit in the Lost City and quest the rest of the game.
I guess I'll
potentially.
roll the dice.
Right, he
Um,
doesn't need to move, but it's
Right. It
Let the
makes
blood
things
flow.
harder.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know who was the
Or not,
attacker. I
you
guess
know.
the Erie were the attacker.
You know what? I
So
think
one cat will
I
be
put
killed.
one dominance
no
card
Erie were
there.
defender because they used the
Just
ambush.
card, but it's too late.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Hmm?
So
What'd you
one
do?
Erie will die.
So we
So
should be
he-
hostile
I
with
think,
both,
I've
and we should score
have
1
Oh,
point.
because the the
Yeah.
ambush made them
one
hostile. You're
here,
right.
one here, and there is.
Yeah.
Well, there
Let's see
was
if they
a
pick up
mouse
on all this.
dominance,
Instigate
but I
does
think
have
Yeah.
a lot of
Did
weird.
we roll
As
for
cool
it?
as it is,
Wait
it does
for it,
have
just,
some strange
there's
gameplay
probably Guerric
exceptions
couldn't help
and
us,
situations.
we don't-
Hold on. What are they?
Yeah, so Garrett, can you find the dominance in the draw?
Sure. Yeah.
because-
Give me 1 second.
Thank you.
Which dominance was it?
See the cards.
I'm like I can.
It was mouse dominance, I think, because we've played full deck and yeah. And they
Oh,
said
that's, Love Shard brings up a good
took
point,
only one in degree.
which I'm not sure of either,
or
but I guess it
probably
is correct.
somewhere Here, yeah.
Instigate is so bizarre.
Weird. I'm not seeing it in the deck.
Okay, so probably just in some supporters or something like that.
Okay.
No, fine.
Thanks.
Cool.
Maybe it's somewhere else. Thanks, Gary.
I forgot to grab E from the cats from my 8. Is it okay if I grab that now?
Okay, well, we got the T, so that's
Yes, of
good.
course, take your tea.
Sweet tea.
Garrick, you back?
I am back. Yeah.
So Love Shard brings up a good point. So when that ambush
So,
occurred,
have we done a
2
battle?
cats were removed.
Yep.
Yeah. I
The first one should have made the Vagabond hostile with the cats, correct? And the second one should have gotten him a point, correct?
Yep. That's what I said.
Oh, you did say
But you
that.
weren't listening to me.
1-0. Yeah.
So, but he has not scored
Okay,
himself that point.
Oregon hostile.
Does the tea come exhausted?
Oregon
when
on
I pick it
hostile.
up from.
I said it first, Pat. Get out of here.
Instigate
I
gate.
mean,
Yeah,
I
it's
guess I might as well
instigate
call
gate.
Guerric a third time and just
Instigate
have
is
it
super strange.
You
Like
usually
I've
get
played
it.
a lot of games
Go ahead.
where,
Say his name 3 times.
because I play
Here,
with
here.
Germ Curry and Squidmark, they love the Vagrant.
Get out of here.
And
You take the item unexhausted.
Unexhausted. Thank you.
I'm sorry for.
they love the
Fine,
Vagrant.
there.
So I've
Like,
seen a
wow.
lot of
Gosh,
weird
how could
instigate
you?
situations,
He's already
and
there.
all of
This is
them
great, 'cause I'm
make
sure
no
Douglas
sense to
is
me.
making a
practically.
great point, and we just got to interrupt again, so it's totally worth it.
Now there's one more contender
Instigate
for the
gate,
win
gate.
in this game.
Um,
One is back.
that is the end of my turn.
All right, so he never scored his point for killing the cat. He's not made them hostile.
Yeah, I don't think
So-
Esoteric realized how
Let's
Instigate
see.
works.
Gonna
big
go.
mistake.
Yeah, I mean, you only want to instigate if
No,
you're going to
but-
score points.
He's finally let me out.
I mean, you only want to do it if you want to go hostile with
I'm
those
going
factions. That's the real
Yeah,
thing.
I don't think he should have done it.
That'll be 1 point.
Because he's not going to win this game by killing things. He's
No.
going to win this game by doing
Aiding and
some more
questing.
quests. Yep, aiding and
Spread
questing, 100%.
sympathy to this clearing.
Yeah, I mean, the Hat and the Cat, he's in a better position this way
Spread
because
sympathy.
he got to hurt Cats
One
and
more
Eerie
time.
without actually suffering the repercussions he should have suffered. You know, going hostile.
So hilariously, he just moved the cat association up.
Because he aided twice on that turn.
No, I know. But he
Yeah, I
didn't
know.
realize he needed to move it down.
2 cards. So here's that missing mouse.
Oh, there's
dominance.
the old mouse dominance.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know how, because it was discarded at some point, I think. So. But that's fine.
All right.
Yeah,
Woodland
I think you
creeping
gave
up
it to
here.
me earlier. So
Oh, maybe
just
it
had
was
it
never
for a long
discarded.
time.
This game could slow down. It's possible, but he needs to train.
then,
It'd be ideal if he had 2 fox
my
cards in his
turn.
hand right now and could
Going
just train
to-
twice.
Train twice.
There we
you
go.
go.
There we go.
Okay. I still think he has an uphill battle, but it is definitely this game is definitely tightening up.
Yeah.
Because he'll be able to move and organize at least once. So that'll bring up another 2
Then
points.
during evening, I'm going to
Versus, I would actually need to check that ruling. I think I asked it to Josh at one point, and I don't remember 100%. The
Yeah,
move.
dude, instigate is
Okay.
bizarre.
That's the one thing that I do. It's pretty clear to me, except for that one thing, whether the battle goes through or not without a warrior. Because when you ambush, if there's no attacking warriors, it cancels. The question is whether you check that even if there's no ambush. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and use this last one to recruit.
Don't forget about your other
That'll
troop
be it
over
for my
here.
turn.
All right, you have a woodland just hanging out by the discard.
Alright.
There you go.
Inbird song.
All right, I like woodland's position too now.
More wood coming out.
Cats, but cats are gonna have a pretty decent turn here if they have a build spot, which they do. They have one in that mouse clearing pretty easily, and they have one in the other mouse clearing pretty easily, and they have one in the keep. And they have what, 5 wood?
Build.
Yeah, so he could actually build. He could go for a big boy turn here and build a sawmill and his second workshop and score 6 points. Wouldn't be the worst idea.
Yeah, maybe.
I forgot to draw my cards. Is it okay if I do that now?
Forgot to draw cards?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with that if everyone else agrees.
We also could overwork and build another recruiter.
Naysayers?
Yeah, you're right. You could.
Thank you.
All
Yeah.
in favor, say aye. Okay, yeah, I think we're good.
That's
So
what
that sawmill cost me 3 wood. So I'm
What is it with Vagabond players and forgetting to draw?
Oh, I for some reason I do too. Like I don't know what it's about the vagabond character that you date. Like every other faction, you're like, get cards, but I always forget his vagabond too sometimes.
It happens a lot. It's a lot with Vagabond players. It's funny. I'm curious if there's something about the faction design that makes that.
I think there is. I don't know what it is. Like what your brain like. Maybe you're just because you're flipping tiles over and you're not really interacting with cards as much as the other factions. I don't know. Yeah, cats could easily be at.
That's the problem.
Certainly be at
Because,
24 at the end of this
I'm
turn.
talking to Vagabond.
The problem with cats, like
Because
most factions,
next,
if they get to 24, they're
round,
well, not most, but certainly some are within winning range.
I mean, if we overwork, we could be at 25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting quite
And
worried.
then they only need that last sawmill. So
Yeah,
No,
and
I'm
I'm not
something's gonna have
able
to happen.
Stop him because I don't have enough battles, warriors, and moves.
So you guys are gonna have to help me here. I want to be completely honest. I'm not sure how there's 2 wood on the board. Do we want to confirm with the audience what they saw? Because I think I should have.
he had a wood out.
maybe, but
I don't know which
wanted
clearing it
to-
was, but there was definitely a wood out from last turn.
Yeah, so there should be 1 left behind, right?
Yeah, I don't have a specific memory, but unfortunately, I don't think I was tracking that.
All right, I'm gonna ask Guerric to confirm whether.
No, I mean I think it's correct. I think there should be, because I
there's no
counted
wood that should
5
be
at
in
the
my
start of
supply
this
that should be
turn,
on
and
the
he
board.
spent 3, so he should still have 2 left, to my knowledge. I think.
You had 1 wood coming into the turn, so I believe you're correct, actually.
I should have 2 wood on the board right
Oh wait, does he just build a sawmill though?
Because you just built one that had cost 3, and we counted 5 on the table, so I believe you should have 2.
Okay, just confirming. It felt like.
Yeah,
one
I
too
think
many.
it's right. Hopefully we're not wrong, but I counted 5. He had
Yeah, I mean, you
two up-
said 5, and
Yeah, he had 2 up in
Okay.
that mouse clearing up left, because he's had 1 there
Then
forever,
I'm
just sitting there.
Then the second action, spending 1 of those wood to build the
a
second
workshop.
workshop where it should have gone at the beginning. And velocity.
So he'll be at
Plus 2 points.
24. He's pretty easily. He's not easily countered, but
I mean, we probably need a
sawmills-
recruit now, I would think.
Yeah, but 2 sawmills dead will be
I'm
enough to slow it down a little
wondering,
bit.
what do I do? Do I just recruit like mad and hope everything turns out?
I think my ideal turn would have been the overwork, build a recruiter, and then Hawks for Hire to recruit.
Yeah.
But that's dependent on having a bird card, of course. Not having a bird
I
card,
don't want to revolt
this is certainly still good.
my clearings.
Yeah, he hasn't played many bird cards, so he must have. I think he played 1 that I remember, so he's kind of struggled with card draw. That's another thing that's hard with cats is like
might
if you
take
just
the,
don't draw bird
workshop
cards,
back.
it's just
And I'll put
It's
my
just
points
hard.
back accordingly.
so he's foregoing the 2-point workshop.
1, 2. Because I think
Well, there's no teas.
Yeah.
So do you
It
think
might
he has
be
anything to
smarter
craft next
to-
turn? Well, obviously, if he's putting it in the
and
middle,
I'll put the wood back where it was.
he could basically craft
I
a
think
hammer
so.
boot
It might
bag.
be smarter to.
Hammer's been reshuffled, so I guess it's theoretically
Yeah.
possible he's
Not leave any wood on the table.
drawn
Oh.
it.
Well, one of his cards was not a craftable,
Oh,
turn,
but I
or
hate
not
playing
a
blue
point
card.
craftable.
It's a
I
bird.
still like dumping the workshop though. I mean, you want that workshop down because it's so cheap and
I'd prefer to save it for the final
the
push.
final win. Yeah,
That's why
yeah.
I'd like to get the overwork recruiter right now, because it's more costly.
Yeah, since he wants to put it in the keep, it is better to save it because if you're gonna put it somewhere earlier, you want it to die.
So I'm going to take a minute to think it all through.
Because we
Is that a
know he has a
Okay.
bird card, so we could do the overwork,
That is
place
true.
recruiter.
He did flash the bird card.
Hawks for Hire, recruit. We'd be at 25 points. We'd still have that 1 cost 2 value workshop to put out next turn. Even if they come after our sawmills a lot, and if they don't come after our sawmills a lot, then we have a pretty easy
The
win,
thing
most
is,
likely.
like Erie's
will
not
spend that
in a
wood on
great
a
position
recruiter
to
on that.
come after him. I mean,
Right.
he just isn't.
And
there.
Opie has done a good job of spreading sawmills
Keep
out
my
across
hands
multiple
on my
clearings. So
board.
like,
Oh yeah, that's a key cat tip that he's done very well. Is
Yep.
do not put all your sawmills in, like those 2 triple build clearings that he has in the middle of the map. Like he has 1 sawmill in each.
Then
That
I'm
is what you do.
going
Do not-
Perfect.
if you put all 3 sawmills in 1 clearing, you're just gonna lose because as soon as that dies, your game is basically over.
yep.
No, I love what he did because
2 extra
1, it makes he did
Ooh.
have 2 bird cards.
Oh,
So for my
Yeah, I love how he spread it out because it just
And
makes
you guys can help
policing
me out. I
so
have,
much more difficult
2
because you
builds,
got to waste so
but
many
I haven't
more
done anything else, right?
actions to get around to him. Yeah, I think cats are in. Yeah, he's getting good, Nev. Maybe he watched your video.
No.
So I'm
No
going to
recruit.
start by battling the Woodland Alliance here.
Yeah,
You
this
want
is how you kind of finish it out: is
Alright,
get some
so I'll
more,
take a point
get
for that.
any point you
And
can.
I discarded all my cards. You can take them off the top.
What faction won at noon today,
I'm
Guerric?
gonna
I
hit the
wasn't able to
Woodland
watch.
Alliance here.
Remembering today's game. Gosh, it feels so long ago somehow. Today's
Okay, I'll take a
game.
point. You can take one off the top.
Anyone in chat? Moles?
It was
Did
Moles.
win?
Okay. That's what I thought. I was trying to confirm that in my brain, and I couldn't remember.
And then I have a single march left.
That's you one. Yep. Good old moles. Oh,
Right, it was a
Small
small mole. Yeah, it was a solid small mole game. It was very cool.
Oh, he never built. Interesting. I'll have to check.
Built
it out.
last turn, as I recall.
Well, of course. Yeah, I mean, usually a nice build to close out the game is pretty good.
It was a cool game. There was a lot of really interesting stuff going on.
I will watch it.
And then I will.
It was a bloodbath, huh?
Let's see. Recruit.
Hat and the cat, you're trying. They were trying to get a meme going about hamburgers.
Better. So I'll do that. And I will draw 2 cards.
All right, so yeah, this is going to be a problem, unfortunately, for the table.
Yeah.
Because he has now protected
That was
3 of his
a
sawmills
mistake to,
pretty well.
to spend an ambush.
I wouldn't say this is 100% over, but
Okay,
it is going to be hard.
It's
could
going to
I do
be
to
very
strike
challenging.
him? Because I have an issue.
Because Erie,
here,
I
because
mean,
I
Erie
have
can't
only
score 10 points unless you're Despot
2
usually.
cards in the degree.
Despot can
And-
score 10 points in a turn with enough battles.
We have
But
to
he's looking
somehow
at
clear
3
options to build
plus
in the next turn for
battles.
the Marquis.
You
we
scored
have,
10 points as non
We had
Despot.
3 warriors here, but they not there. And all slots.
Well, how did that happen? Charismatic?
All
I
slots
mean, it's
here,
possible, but his situation is not good for it.
I
Oh, 3 crafts?
remove-
Okay, fine.
Don't listen to
I
Pat.
couldn't remove because he moved those cards.
He's a silly man.
Warriors.
No, it's still
Probably.
strong. I mean, I love that kind of. I
Probably
do
could
remember that
march
game now.
through them.
I love that
Because I
that
don't
kind of
have,
stuff.
the
surprise
one issue,
victories.
I don't have a
You're like,
mouse
oh,
card
Erie can't
to
score 10
move,
points this
from this
turn.
clearing to
Oh,
anywhere,
Alcraft bag, boot,
Like,
and
anywhere
this
where
thing,
he has
and
where he has sawmills. So probably I could.
All right, so Erie pointing out,
2 moves
kind of
from
illegally,
this
that he doesn't have any mouse cards, so he can't go and
place
police
to
sawmills very
and
effectively.
move,
kind of illegally, yeah.
sawmill.
Well, because
Yeah,
you can't just
revealed
reveal
it.
cards, and I know
I
players
know,
love
I
to do
know.
this at the end
No,
of the
I know,
game
you-
when they're
you
puzzling it
scolded-
out.
He would
You
have,
scolded me for doing it
one
too.
slot here
Um,
and one slot here,
I get it.
and no way through. Probably this place if
I mean, he can definitely. I mean, he
if
can
Woodland
kill.
Alliance could help us.
Oh yeah, he has no mouse card, so he
the-
can't move. He can't move from that one mouse where he has
that's
3 Erie up to that
because
sawmill
without
right
Woodland
there.
Alliance, we could
Um,
lose this one.
yeah, this is
I'm not sure that there's really any way for me to help. I won't be able to
yeah,
revolt on my
this is
turn. So.
Could you revolt on
this is a
on
pretty
this
quick game.
place?
We're at
No.
hour and
No,
45 minutes. So
I won't be able
pretty
to revolt at all.
Okay.
And Woodland saying they can't revolt that sawmill.
Probably I would try to remove
I
this one.
We could change
by
that. No, we
putting,
can't. There's a fox base.
Anyway, I need this.
Oh,
one
that's
for
why he
battle
can't revolt that.
because I couldn't.
That's
through
nothing's gonna be revolting there.
The red. Clear.
Yeah, I don't see.
And this one for.
Yeah, I just don't know that I see.
Wait, Irie.
I mean, you have Vagabond with only 1 sword, so the
One
best
more
he can
battle,
do
or
is he could.
it's
So he
one more
well,
move.
I mean, he could get some juicy points here. Well, no, he just can't kill that
Uh,
much with 1 sword. He could
first,
go down to that
I
mouse
have
clearing with
6
2
warriors.
buildings and a
1,
wood.
2.
He could crossbow a cat warrior, and then
I
he
mean-
could sword 1 cat and then instigate against
and
himself.
all of them
Re-
will-
realistically, if
Doesn't get
the
some
Erie and the
buildings.
Vagabond worked together, the Erie could go smash a mouse clearing with 1 or 2 battles,
and
and
Right.
then
go,
sit there for the Vagabond to come instigate.
here.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
Just
true.
clear.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, so that's one way you could take out a sawmill.
And then
The problem
I
is,
have
even
3
taking out
battles.
2, he needs 5 points.
Okay.
I mean, you might buy
So
1 more turn.
Yeah,
my way with
I mean, this
you're
is
gonna-
looking.
all these warriors.
And this is always the rough situation
Probably
at the
I
end
would
of route.
left
So
here
it's like,
one.
okay, I could buy 1 more turn, but I'm spending so much actions dealing with this turn is that I still
So
can't get
that's,
myself in position to
5,
win
6,
Right.
before he wins anyways. So
The
it's
real
like,
ideal is that you
like
buy a
what
turn
we
and
have
also gain a little bit of ground while doing
exactly
so.
right. And Erie will. They'll get. I mean, he's going to get to 24,
And
20. So it might. I
followers
mean,
go
Erie. This isn't over. Erie could get to 24, 25,
from
and
before.
if he does buy that extra turn, he could easily
Oh, I
pull it
don't
out.
have
I
yellow.
think Vagabond and Woodland are
Madam,
probably not 2 turns away each.
I couldn't block them, but I could.
User
remove
anomaly, yeah, this is
the
partially the
here.
ramification of
And
turmoiling
three warriors
on Despot when we
this
didn't have all of
place.
our roosts out. We had all but one. And it's pretty natural for the table to hit 2 to 3 roosts after
Three
that
warriors.
turmoil happens.
Let's
And that brought us down to 3 as opposed to 4,
this clear.
which is a much worse place to
Alright,
be
there is no ambush.
and a non-building leader to close out the game with, you know? If that makes sense.
Sad.
Not great.
Not great at all. We have one more.
I'm just gonna
But
think
yeah,
about
that's rough.
Trigger or
Well, and he went so heavy into recruit right when he could have put the one bird into build maybe and just at least kept his build engine going. I don't
It's
know.
really a miracle that
I will
Charismatic
not
has survived this
trigger.
long.
Oh no, I mean
It-
it should have died
Either.
twice and it
Right.
just, the table
And let's
saved it
do,
for some weird reason, but it
one
might work
battle
out. But if they end up, he could easily come back here, and if he does, they're
uh,
gonna have to
the
look back at this
fox.
and be like, "What?
Right,
Why
no
did we let this happen?"
Well, I mean, the
Yes,
crazy thing is we need 3 more Eerie to die for Eerie to actually get another turn.
You're right. He has absolutely one of the weirdest decrees I've ever seen. Like it's just bizarre. It's
I have
hilariously
one battle
bizarre.
left. I'm not sure if I could clean this. Clean this, but
I think I
he's
said
done.
it earlier today, Nev, but players have the uncanny ability to always make things cursed.
I should have
Yeah.
moved this rewarriors also. Because he could move those warriors to this.
So I think he's done 2 of the battles, right? I think he did the fox battle and the mouse battle, and now he has one more battle.
It's better to just remove this sawmill, or I could leave this sawmill for
No, he's
Vagabond and battle again in this place.
I know Vagabond could score. I mean,
Yeah.
with his instigate, he's going to kill a
no
bunch of
ambush?
cat buildings,
You're
but
confirmed
technically
to
he's not
this. That's fair.
hostile.
Yeah, no ambush.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on whether he realizes he gets those points or not.
I don't know. Yeah, the hostile problem is
Alright,
kind
I'm
of.
gonna discard investments to trigger field hospitals.
Like 99% more, oh yeah. It'd be
Yeah.
a long shot for anyone else to have it.
I mean, I still. Yeah. I mean, if he doesn't win on his next turn, then I think Erie could come back. But I still think he probably can figure out how to win on his next
Well,
turn.
Erie's still Turmoil on recruit. They only have 3 in
Oh,
supply.
yeah. Yeah, you're right. Never mind. Yeah, this is 99.
I think Vagabond has a better shot with like 2 turns, but
Yeah, but I agree. This is like 99.5 cats.
right.
I'm going to.
But yeah, I
Let's
mean,
see what
Vagabond's still
Vagabond does.
sitting on a 3-point quest, a
doing some
2-point
fundraising
quest.
here.
Oh yeah, he's about to do a
Could go
he's doing-
allied with cats.
The poor little.
He's doing a 3-point
monk
quest. Well, he could
school
quest
could
a
use
shit
some
ton in
extra
this.
funds.
Hey, thanks.
If he draws a
like I
fox
said, I
quest on
really
this
said
draw,
nice, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
He will.
Set is
He
worth
might
2
win.
points.
You're
Give
right.
me a 20.
If he draws a fox quest.
And that refreshes.
It's a fox quest!
Oh, and he can do it.
Okay.
So that's 4 more points. Oh
I
boy,
will
this is gonna
then-
be. This is. Oh come on. If he
Oh,
draws
baby.
another fox quest, I don't know what the last fox
Oh,
quest
yeah.
is. If he even can
Four
do
For
it.
the win.
We're going to be at
That's
24.
the hope.
If this is a
Rick's-
fox quest, he goes to 29 if he can do it. I don't know which one's left. It's probably a torch one, probably, because over half the deck's torches.
And then let's
Draw.
see here.
Draw your quest. Lily, get him to draw his quest.
When I
Uh-oh.
times in the lobby, that will put us at
Oh, that 999 ping. Uh-oh.
That's worth 2
Oh,
points,
yeah.
and then the next 2 aids are worth 2 points each.
Yeah, Lily, I think
so as long as I
you've
have 5
screamed at them
cards
before to
and
draw their
5 items,
quest,
which
I
do,
believe.
I can aid to the win.
Satan, take the wheel.
So
Oh, is he crafting? Wait. Oh, he's aiding. Oh, but this
Keep
is not
going.
legal.
Oh,
Shit.
hands have
Did-
been foiled.
Wait, did we take the?
Why is
Did we
my
finish that quest? Did we take
freaking
points or
out?
draws? Or
Okay.
I don't know what the
I'm
fuck's
not-
happening right
I'm not
now.
being petty, I just wanna make sure
Sorry
that
for our
you're not
language. I
supposed
don't know.
to,
it's fine.
Eating me 3 times to go up 2 points, and then you're doing 2 more for 2 more points.
Yep, I think that's it.
Yeah, last
Yeah. Okay, so they're gonna go allied and then aid for
with
4
2
points.
And then 2 points for each of those. Choose that 6 points, which
Oh,
gives
boy.
me just enough to creep.
Are you
over
gonna break the bad news to them after the
Nice
game?
vagrant aid strat for win.
Yeah,
Good game.
I was very lucky to draw that final Fox quest for the refresh.
Oh boy. I'll let you
the nearly impossible
handle this.
quest if it had-
Oh, I mean, they didn't.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, he shouldn't have been. He
He should be
He just
hostile.
scored. Yeah, he scored 6 points right there. That
But-
he shouldn't have scored.
I mean, it's on them.
Maybe more.
It's on them.
I know,
you know?
you're right.
I mean,
You're right.
I
It is
think I
on
would've
them.
had
You're
to,
right.
like,
No, I know. It's not your
kill one
fault.
off
It's
here
just.
and then hope
It's
the
just.
best. I don't know.
It
Yeah,
feels
would've been
bad.
Real tricky.
It is on them. Hey, everybody's
well,
aid gate.
Hey, it was a well played game.
No.
They just don't know how Instigate works, but it's a well played game.
That they did something
Yeah.
wrong and like
It's
they're sitting
Instigate.
being like, oh no, he cheated. He doesn't realize it.
It is Instigate.
And hey, what about this upset?
You can come tell us.
Like,
No,
Yeah.
that was fantastic.
We're feeling bad for.
Yeah,
the
you should
Alliance
probably not even say
because
anything. Let's let
Yeah,
them.
I got-
feel like
Oh, I just lost my bet.
already-
yeah,
This
because
was
52k points just went to 3 people.
Otherwise you
This
would
is
win.
what I. This
Yeah,
is see.
I
This is
didn't-
because I
I
bet
didn't,
on seat 1 and 2.
revolt
I'm
in
not gambling
this
anymore.
game because there's way more.
Every time I gamble, like some crazy comeback occurs.
I even left the bait. This
I
wish he'd-
warrior that
Garrick, put yourself
stayed
yellow
here
and
for the whole
roll
game.
over that last quest. I'm just curious.
We'll check it after the stream.
Aye.
would go for some
Because if it's a Fox quest that is
no,
doable,
that
then
is-
it wouldn't have mattered because he could have
yeah,
just probably
but
do
for
that.
central clearance and I would.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Don't say anything to him. Just
I'll-
let him.
No. I mean, if they ask me if they made any rules mistakes, I can say it. But no, they it's on them to catch rules mistakes.
It was a very
It happens.
entertaining game.
It was an entertaining game. They played
yes.
well. Yeah.
I enjoyed
Yeah, but
seeing
otherwise-
like cats playing super wide. That was interesting.
Great game, everyone.
Eerie was interesting.
All right, let me go there. I think they're waiting
All right.
for me. Great game, everyone. Sorry, I was talking. Great game, everyone. Congratulations, Esoteric, for that finish. That was great, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for hosting again.
What's that?
Thanks for hosting again. It's really
Yeah,
been a
appreciate it.
pleasure to watch and to participate.
Oh, thank you for playing. I hope everyone had fun. Which, speaking of, Opie, Gray, and Juicin, it has been a pleasure to have you in the tournament. Thank you so much. I believe each of you are now eliminated, unfortunately, but it's been a pleasure having you.
Yeah.
Nice to play in this tournament.
Thank you.
Yeah, 2 games of clear fun.
I'm glad. Fugless, thank you for commentating with me.
Uh-oh. Hold on. Oh,
It's fine.
Yes.
You're fine.
Yeah. Yes, it was always a pleasure.
We will see you in round 3. Everyone watching, we will see you tomorrow for our next game at noon Eastern time. So we'll catch you then. Have a great one.
Awkward moment.
See you later.